Mother effing rolling.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I can't just mute myself and take a hit of my vape, can I?
You're really good.
Oh, that's
I
right.
can't mute myself, though.
Oh, no.
No.
You can't.
No more
Sorry,
trickery.
sir.
You are alive, sir.
In our first break.
Yes.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, and if you can fucking believe it, this is episode 200 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG! Yes!
Let's hear
Only
it for
slightly
GG!
late.
Just a little bit.
Let's
Just a
hear it for
little bit.
GG!
High five, guys.
High five.
Yeah.
High five, everybody.
Physical high
That's
five.
what I'm talking about. Yes.
Oh, my
With me,
God.
live here next to me in the flesh, is Mr. Chaos Reaper, a.k.a. Gilberto. What is up, sir?
What is going on? I'm so happy to be here with you guys. It was a long drive, a lot of traffic, a bunch of idiots. But I managed.
Damn
I overcame
Floridians.
every single hurdle and made it here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That is what I'm talking about. And of course, Mr. On live from the he's the one working all the magic
on the ones
here.
and twos,
The
sir.
magic
On the ones
behind
and
you.
twos, yes.
The disc jockey, if you will. The digital disc jockey, Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister. What is up, sir?
Somehow, this jockey, the audio engineer, quote unquote, sounds like shit.
No, you sound fine to me. Although I'm hearing you live as opposed to what you're hearing.
Oh no! Just wait until the recording comes. I sound like I'm calling from Skype.
No,
Like I'm the one
it can't be that
Skyping now.
bad.
I'm
It
the
can't
only
be
one
that. It's
Skyping.
not being cut off, right?
No.
Oh, then
that's right.
then
That's
it's
right.
not
Definitely not Skype. Definitely not
Skype.
Skype.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys. Well, first off, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, I need you guys to go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation
Yes.
there. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. Before I continue this, I want you guys to know that I have had a few beers. So if I stumble upon my words a little bit, it's most likely because of that. Only that, I assure you.
Also because we're celebrating because we are in episode 200.
200. Even though 201 was last week. Yes.
Wait.
Actually, 202 was last week.
Wait. Is this the real 200?
This
or
is
the fake
the
200?
real 200.
Okay, so we're making it, we're
real
officializing.
200. And we
All
are
right.
live from my house, and we are in our in my backyard.
Oh, come on. You got to say it right. We're live from Casa de Martin.
Casa de
From Casa de
Martin
Martin.
Hotel
Google
and
it.
Grill.
Hotel and
Google
Grill. Yes,
That's usually
evidently.
because you eat here and you drink and you spend such a good merry time that
Then
you
you record a
either don't want to
podcast. because
leave
we're the
I
big
know.
man.
or
Yeah.
you can't leave.
Exactly.
You can't drive.
Just in case. There's always
will
a bed
take your
available here.
keys.
Always a bed
It's
available.
always good to know.
What we normally do, guys, is first we go into what we've been up to, move on into various news items, and then finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's
This week, hot topic.
Hot topic.
I have no freaking clue.
Honestly,
Wait, we don't have a.
We don't have a hot
That's
topic.
right. You know what?
I was
you know
driving up here, and I was talking to Dark, and he goes like, "So, what are you guys gonna talk about?" Like, honestly, I have no goddamn clue.
Yeah, we didn't put anything on the table. You know why? Because the hot topic of this week is our 200
It's
episode.
a 200 episode. That's right. That's what it is. That is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, 200 episodes, guys. That is way longer than I thought this show would actually last. And first off,
Thanks to me.
thanks to both of you for keeping
I-
it going.
I'm recent, but you guys have done an amazing job.
Hey, man, we've done an amazing job because you've helped us do an amazing job. For
And when I
real.
say thanks to me, I say that you believe that this was not going to last.
Oh, is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yes.
No. It's not thanks to you. Actually, I wasn't sure. It was thanks to you that I wasn't sure we can even get it off the air because it took a Jedi mind trick to get this man to actually let me record his voice and his thoughts. And
you guys remember, episode 1 is out there. You guys could hear it. It was just a conversation that he was just recording, and then
on my phone.
there it is.
I gotta go
At
back
lunch,
and
at
listen
work.
to that first episode.
It's only 20 minutes long because
Yeah.
we were at lunch, so we had to. We only had 20
20-minute
minutes.
break.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Yeah. So
Dude,
it's like,
it's
well,
hilarious.
shit. We
Well,
have
the
only-
conversation
and
of it
so-
was PlayStation 4, PlayStation Pro, and Xbox One X when they were coming out.
Exactly.
They were announced.
please turn.
Oh,
behind
and
your
we
ear
have a
to,
special guest star.
Yes, you can't sneak in.
No,
by.
you can't.
Just
She's
sneak
coming
in
by to
by.
grab a beer, but you got to say what's up to the people. We have Shadow temporarily, as she looks like she's looking for some soda at the moment.
What?
But there's beer right next to that soda, so
Here,
just grab a beer.
Let me help you with the light. With the light.
It's all good. Say what's up.
Hi.
That was Shadow.
Shadow
All
came
right,
back, and she's on her way out to Arkansas. She's got a red eye. She's gonna pick up. What is it? 4:00 in the morning or something like? What do we do?
Yeah, she's at 4 in the morning.
That will qualify as a
Why do we
red
have
eye.
a flashlight on? I know it's dark out here, but we don't need the flashlight.
Oh, I was
I
just
mean,
helping
that-
Shadow.
that's,
You know,
Okay.
just trying to help.
she's a shadow.
Just
So
trying to be useful.
in order to have a shadow, you need a light.
You need,
Am I right?
well, hey, I mean that's very poetic.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
well
We'll
done,
go
sir.
with that.
Yeah.
That's very good.
All right, guys. Well, let's start the show with
Ooh,
what we have
so
been
excited.
up to. We're gonna start with the gentleman from Tampa.
Oh,
The Tampa. No, it's not
Riverview,
Tampa.
Riverview.
Right,
I
right,
work
yeah.
in Tampa.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay,
That's
so it's the
right.
area. The Hillsborough. Is it all Hillsborough? No, where you at?
I think it's
Is it Hillsborough? Okay. That area
Oh.
over there. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
Big Ben Road.
fuck it, from the boonies.
Yeah. There you go.
Somewhere in the country.
Mr.
It's all right.
Chaos Reaper, sir. What, sir, have you been up to?
Well, as you said, as we said, I started working in Tampa recently. That's why my absence, as of late, my shift has changed. I'm currently working nights and I'm part-time, so my days are like, oh, we got a new log for the fire pit.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
A new log for the fire pit. By the way, guys, it is Florida.
It is.
But,
slightly chilly.
It's a little chilly.
It is
we've got some
currently in
pictures that
Florida.
we're posting of us. I don't know why we're doing this, but it's,
It's 54
fun.
degrees right now.
It's how much?
It's 54 degrees.
54 degrees, guys.
I have 3 jackets.
And that he does.
I have a heater. I have a mini
He has a
heater.
little mini heater next
I should
to him.
post. I should post that.
Post
He's
the mini
hogging all of it, but
Yeah.
that's okay. We let him keep it.
Hey, you guys have the fire pit. You
We
guys
do
are
have a
closer
fire
to the
pit going
pit.
as
Yeah,
well.
it's like 10 feet away, but sure.
Hence
There you
the
go.
log that was just brought by Shadow.
Right.
So a new log to throw into the fire a little later on.
My
I'm sorry,
fire
sir. We
heater-
interrupted you.
That's okay. So, as I was saying, my days off, and it's all kind of random now. It depends on what they need. It's not set. Like I said, hence my absences of late. I have been working Friday nights. This week I didn't, thankfully. Hence my appearance here live at the GG Mouthful Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Right here,
GG.
right here.
GG. Nice.
All right. And thank you.
We have
for
like a nice eclectic mix
Yes.
of beer as well.
It's been a fun day.
Drinks of
Food,
merriment.
great food.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
So, I will be trying to get more Fridays off.
Cool.
So, but once I start being able to trade and actually manipulate my shift, so hopefully I'll be able to join more often than that again.
Nice.
Other than that, I've been playing a lot, and I mean a lot of Warframe.
Nice.
I have though. I dive right back in like head first, all the way in. Been farming a lot of different parts to sell to get plat, which is the premium currency, because I don't have any money to spend on it right now, and I need plat.
So I'm selling all my shit.
Yeah. Well, we've been farming this particular weapon. You need 4 parts of it. You need the receiver, the barrel, the handle, and I don't know what the hell else.
The trigger.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I boring you, sir? Am I boring you? It's not Final Fantasy 14. I didn't think it would bore you.
No. I'm joking. I'm obviously joking. Warframe is
I mean,
really
honestly,
good.
the grind is not particularly fun because the damn thing it's on the Railjack, which is the big ship that you like fight in space, and you have all the space battles.
Yeah.
And this ship pops up once every 2 hours, and then Dark is always down with the timer because this dude is like farming the shit out of it.
Oh, is he?
Yes. But I've been farming for credits because I need credits because I'm broke, and just been like trying to do quests and events and getting my Warframes up to date. And there's a new patching coming soon that's going to change a lot of things, including the arcanes.
Nice.
And yeah, there's some new changes coming in. They're adding shield gating, which right now the way shields work, if you get hit for more damage than what your shield is worth, it spills over to your health, and you can effectively get one-shotted by an attack that's strong enough.
Oh, shit.
Right. Well, they're gonna add shield gating, which is gonna prevent that. Even if the damage is greater than your shield will stop all of it.
Okay.
About
that's
time.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a buff for quite a few frames, including like on my Valkyrie, which is one of my favorite frames. She only has 150 shields, but it doesn't really matter. Like if I have 2 shields and I get hit for like 10,000 points, those 2 shields will hold me off, and like I won't die in one shot. So it's effectively doubling the effective health pool of a lot of frames. So it's something to look forward to.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been playing some Monster Hunter World, helping a friend catch up.
If you're hearing that, guys, that's a plane that's flying overhead.
We are outside.
747 coming. I think that's landing at 8:15 on Orlando Airport.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Probably gonna quarantine.
Thank you, Flight Tracker. You're gonna be hearing the sounds of nature a lot.
Yeah.
Falling through a freeze our
You're gonna hear crickets.
off.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm good.
No, I'm golden, man.
Not bad. You got
I'm
that
comfy.
heater over there, nice and
I'm comfy.
aimed at you. By the way, there's a new event for Apex Legends.
Okay.
It's
Wait, didn't it? Real quick, didn't they have the old the Canyon came back for a little bit, right?
yeah, but it was I think it was for like 1 or 2 days because it was
Oh,
part of
was
an
that
event.
was
It was
short?
just for a
Oh,
couple
that's
of
bullshit.
days,
Okay.
and it was just at night, and it was nice to go back. I think I played a couple of games and then I didn't play it because honestly the rewards for the event then I didn't care as much.
Okay.
And this event it has a new mode which is called Deja Loot.
Deja loot.
Yes.
I was like, whoa,
That's
what
when you're
is
farming for this, the
well,
same
you know-
shit that you
you know-
already gotten.
You know how in this battle royales the loot is random.
Mm-hmm.
Deja Loot gets rid of that part.
Oh,
The
okay.
loot is always the same every game, and then the route for the drop ship and the final circle is the same every day. It changes daily. The loot is the same all throughout the event, but the drop ship route and the final circle changes daily. So for the one day, once you see that route, that's your route for the
That sounds
whole
more
day.
like deja vu.
Okay.
Am I right?
It's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad because once you can.
Good night, sir. That's my brother-in-law Ed. He's waving. You
Hey,
going out?
Ed.
Brother Ed. Woo! All
My old Doc 30 take her to the airport.
Oh, okay, I got you,
Alright,
sir.
right.
All right, sir.
Drive safe.
So you
All
can
right.
formulate a plan on where to drop. You can formulate a plan on where to drop, and then you follow that path like through upgrades. I actually had one where I would fall in the geyser, pick up a purple shield, pick up a G7 Scout and a Prowler. I knew exactly where the hop ups were for both guns and the stabilizers and the extended max and everything. So it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It really ruined it when somebody else fell and started picking up my stuff. I was like, now I got to kill you for it.
Yeah.
You're interrupting me.
Well, thanks for helping.
Yeah, so me and Miss Reaper actually managed to actually win 2 games. It was pretty cool.
Nice.
So
That's awesome.
I did enjoy it. So I actually got some levels in the battle pass too, which I really fallen behind. But it's okay. I kind of like falling off the Apex Legends wagon, but I still enjoy the game very much for what it is.
I still love the fact that the way that they managed that reveal of the last character.
Oh
Okay.
yes,
Where they put in information about what was his name of the
can't-
fake one.
yeah, the big buff guy and everything.
So it was this character. I
it
don't know the name.
reminded me of the character Torque in Borderlands
I
3.
think that might have been his name actually.
It
No,
was
it's
something
not
like,
Torque.
It
It's
wasn't
not
Torque,
Torque, yeah.
but it was something. It was like a ridiculous name.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
has
I don't
something
know
to
if it was fine.
you probably could find it out. But so they put it on the code so that data miners will look for it and be like, oh, we
This is
know
it. This
who's
is
gonna
the
be the next
character.
character. We're gonna leak this out, for leakers. And it ended up being bullshit because right at the reveal where they are showing his supposed
It was like an interview or something.
yeah,
like
it's supposed to
some
be like a
grand
trailer
entrance
for the
yeah.
character.
Okay.
And in the middle of the interview, was it?
Yes.
Like go in and kill him?
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
the actual
Okay.
new character
Kills-
murders him,
Nah.
assassinates
awesome.
him,
Oh, that is pretty tight.
and yeah,
That's
I
knowing
like-
your
I like
audience
that.
too.
oh
That
my
is
god, it
knowing
was
your
so
audience.
good.
That's-
They played it so well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's by the way, it's a super edgy character. His name is Revenant,
Favorite.
and
The Revenant, that's
oh
the name,
my
yep.
god, yeah. I immediately got him because I have enough points for any. Like, I got so many points for Legends. It's ridiculous.
So is he related to Reaper?
No,
They're not family. I mean, they probably. Someone should tell them that they're probably both sons of death.
I mean, it's a very interesting character. I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before when he first got released. That his first skill, he silences enemy skills. And then his second one, his ultimate, which is kind of tricky to use, you summon this totem, and if you interact with it, if you die, you respawn at that totem. You don't drop or anything. You just respawn there with max shields and 1 health.
Okay.
So you have to know where to put it. It can't be obvious because then people will just like wait for you and like, yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
Which has happened more than once. And if you go too far from the totem, you lose the buff. So it's kind of tricky.
Okay.
It's still enjoyable. Yeah, I like it. Plus, he's edgy as shit. And my God, he's such a dick. Like,
I remember you mentioning this.
Yeah. When you say thank you, it's like, I'm not thanking you. Like, okay.
It sounds like they're catering to their audience.
yeah,
Am I
you're
right?
Not welcome.
Am I right?
It could be. It could be.
And when you're falling and you do the emote, like, you're all going to die. Yeah, very cheery guy.
Thanks, jackass.
So the event has a bunch of new skins. If you open enough loot boxes, you get all the skins and whatnot. You actually get a heirloom piece for Octane, which is his injection changes into like a dagger or some shit.
He just stabs himself? Okay.
Yes.
This game, man.
I know, yeah.
So you either open enough loot boxes by grinding it out in the game, or you can spend $160 and just get it.
Nice.
Oh.
It's one or the other. Bye, Shadow.
Bye,
Have
Shadow.
a good trip.
Again,
Be
we're
safe.
saying goodbye to Shadow again.
Yeah.
I can't
Oh,
have this.
she's
This
going
is
to
too
Arkansas.
hard.
I'm just glad you managed to show up at least.
At least you came by for the episode 200. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Have a great trip.
Be safe.
Your fans have not
Will
gotten
do.
over you.
Yeah, for real. The fans are like, what happened to Shadow?
What happened to
They're
Shadow?
clamoring for you, Shadow.
Be safe. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I started watching. This is what happens when I don't show up for 2 weeks. I started watching Preacher.
Oh, yes.
I did play some Mortal Kombat, but that was kind of minimal. I just want to throw. Spawn is coming out soon this month. That is the only reason I'm still playing this game. Can't wait to be done. Get it on my PlayStation. That's
2 weeks from now, right?
Yeah, the 17th.
Okay. That's not far. It's actually a week from
I've
now,
waited
right?
6 months. 6 months for this.
It's only around the corner. then.
Holy hell! Jeez, I think the reveal is like either today or tomorrow. What's today's day? The 7th?
Today is the 7th, yep.
Okay, so I think tomorrow is they do the actual
reveal?
gameplay reveal.
Okay. Oh.
Yes. So we actually get to
Somebody's
see
gonna be
him
tuning in
action.
for that.
Oh yes. Very important. I replayed my childhood.
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
Final Fantasy VII Demo Remake Demo.
Yes.
Jeez.
Actually, I think we all kind of did.
Yeah, pretty sure we all did.
I can't wait to hear everyone's thoughts.
I
but
saw
by all means.
somebody online actually playing it.
Was that me or him?
Listen, well, I'll have. I'm sure that I'll have my say.
Okay, there you
Okay.
go.
Oh, wait a
There
minute!
you go.
No. This is episode 200.
This is episode 200. Anything goes.
I was going to say, that should be the hot topic. But,
I mean-
yes.
Are we gonna go with that for the hot
we
topic,
could.
or-
Why not?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, I could probably go off on that game forever.
Me too.
Oh, I don't want to see
All right,
that.
so I played that, and then skipping right through that since we're leaving this for the end.
Well, listen, leave some for the hot topic.
Right. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. I played it. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I did share some pictures on the group though,
Nice.
which we'll talk about it.
Nice.
I started watching Preacher,
Okay.
which it's actually pretty crazy.
FX, right? No, is it FX or AMC? AMC.
AMC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's AMC because I keep thinking of The Walking Dead every time I start an episode.
Yeah. That's right.
It's good. It's funny. It's got some pretty funny characters. I think I'm on to the 4th episode or maybe 5th episode. I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Based on a graphic novel, I know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but I've never read anything or knew anything of the graphic novel
Yeah,
before.
it's one of those smaller, you know what I mean? Like
Obscure?
V for Vendetta, those type of things where it's like, oh, I know of it, but yeah.
You knew of it beforehand?
Pretty sure? Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
I'm pretty. I didn't.
I've never read them, but I knew of them. Yeah.
Okay. I watched the Pokemon movie Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution
Oh God.
because
you were
I
bored?
watched the original animated movie and everybody's on this Disney CGI remake high. I mean live action because Lion King is not live action, it's CGI. I don't care what you say.
I agree.
Right? So I saw it. It was pretty good.
Okay.
They added some things that I felt were unnecessary. And some of the fighting scenes were more impactful on the animation rather than on CGI. But, I mean, I guess slight spoilers for anyone who has seen this movie that's like, I don't know. How old is that movie? Like 20 years old at this
It's a
point?
while, yeah. It's been, 90s, so yeah.
Yeah, so the part where Ash, quote unquote, dies, that gets turned into stone and Pikachu cries and whatnot. I know, I did say spoilers.
How
I
dare
did
you?
say spoilers.
Ash doesn't die.
I mean, it's Ash. I mean, seriously. The
Ashes
first
to
time
ashes, dust to dust.
but anyways, like watching like Pikachu's reaction to it.
Yeah.
It was so emotional in the cartoon and CGI is just as bad. So that was actually pretty cool. I don't care if anybody judges me.
Please
No
send your
judgment.
judgment too.
Yeah.
So that's all I watched so far. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I watched.
Okay.
That's all I've done. I'm telling you, it's been a lot of Warframe.
But we didn't have you for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was a lot of Warframe.
A lot of Warframe for those 2 weeks. All right, guys. Mr. Dream Twister, also known as Three Dog, what have you been up to, sir?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Fallout 3. I've been playing a lot of Fallout 3. No.
No.
you know, I had a glitch in that game. I walked out of the White House once, and then there was a raider with his just limbs stretched out as
Like a T-pose?
Oh, like a T-boss?
not like a T,
Like
but more like a
crucified?
star because it wasn't
Oh,
a
like a
T
star.
pose. It
Oh,
was like
really?
a star,
Okay.
and then he was just flying across the sky. And I was like, what just happened here?
You gotta
Red
love
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
This is
yeah.
why this is the best game ever.
Bethesda.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
I love
God.
Fallout.
So,
It's great.
what have I been doing? You know, I've been playing. Oh, I'm sorry, because it's in the
Delivery?
past. I'm about to start playing Division 2.
Oh,
I
my
heard it was
God.
a great game.
Oh, by
And I
the
should
way, yeah,
probably try it.
I completely forgot to mention that. You're right. I started playing the Division.
Yeah,
2.
we were playing the Division.
Yeah.
That's right. So, I've been
$3
playing
whole
double.
dollars.
Huh?
$3 whole dollars. Yes.
Wasn't that worth it or
It
not?
was. I mean, for $3,
For
it
$3?
was like seriously
Hell
low.
yeah.
My wife is bringing over a thermal blanket for everyone because she knows that we're outside, and she's like, "Well, she's
Everybody's
trying
with
to
your
reduce
jacket on,
the
with their
shrinkage
hoodies and-
for everyone."
I'm good.
This is a rescue blanket.
A rescue blanket.
Oh, it's that foil one. I don't know if you want that.
Oh shit! That sounds legit.
Yes, take a. Okay, we're gonna take a quick moment here to take a picture.
Yes.
By
This
minute.
Freedom Podcast. And
I mean,
remember,
if I'm honest, we didn't really have to pose. Like, I really would have. I would have enjoyed like a natural picture of us talking.
That's
Oh,
true.
okay.
That
Yeah,
would have been
that's
great by me
not
too.
good, yeah.
yeah,
They didn't have
that's
to
true.
pose, but they had to like mention it. I was trying to be
We're
subtle about it, and they had to like announce it.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
You
go
didn't
ahead, sir.
touch
I'm sorry.
my blankets either.
Huh?
I can use the blanket.
Yeah, he
Oh,
could
he
use the
definitely
blanket.
used
He
the
needs a
blanket.
blanket. Yeah.
No, I'm fine, but
Is that foil one?
I think so. I think that's a
Do you
thermal.
need one?
It's
He definitely
Yeah,
needs.
He
one.
needs one.
Do
Yeah.
you need one? 'Cause
Yes, he does need one. Yeah.
Bring it.
Bring
Yeah.
it over there.
It's
Get
fucking
the
freezing
wrinkling
here.
of the plastic. In case
So
you're
you,
wondering,
so you
this
know that this is
Wait a minute,
legit.
What
This
this
is
is
actually-
pouches.
I told you, this is that foil shit. This is that stuff
so what do
that
you do?
people put on their head to avoid being.
That's the blanket.
Yeah, it's
I
a
thought it was
thermal.
a whole bag.
It's like
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a bunch of blankets in
This
there.
is a moist
No,
towelette.
I'm good.
Oh, there's.
I'm
oh,
okay.
Shit, look at that.
Wow, this is like
the
some
world?
sci-fi shit.
That's some government foil right there.
This is like to avoid hypothermia.
Oh my god, this
All right,
this
now we
deserves
need
a
a
picture.
this definitely deserves a picture.
Now we need a
If you have ever,
Oh my goodness.
tinfoil hats, get out the way. Tinfoil
There you
blankets
go.
is the new
Wait.
shit.
I need to put it
Oh, I love
over my head.
Oh, I love it. Look at that. Oh, that is awesome. That is going up on the group.
Priceless.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Driving to Casa de Marin,
that.
I don't know how many tolls. Watching Dream Chaser put on a fail blanket.
No, we're
a
good,
foil
we're
blanket,
good.
Priceless.
Oh,
Not only
man.
that, but this is just gonna be cracking and sounding.
It is. It most certainly is.
It's probably gonna get very annoying.
Don't
for
move too
people.
much.
Yeah, please don't move. Dude, if you're comfortable, stay still.
All right, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So no, man. Honestly, it has been mostly that Division 2, Warlords of New York.
Warlords.
Thank
So
you.
wait, you actually started playing the expansion?
Yes.
Oh, because you
He's
have
on
on PC, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's on PC.
Right,
yeah.
right, right.
I
No,
remember
have
you
PC.
mentioning that.
Yeah. It's just that on PC.
You're not hanging out
like-
with these couple of scrubs over here, level 10
No,
and shit.
you know what? Honestly, I would rather play with you couple of scrubs.
I appreciate that.
I'd rather you
Because-
not call me that, but that's fine. Just saying.
It's just there's no one from our group actively playing. Or maybe that's not true. Maybe I do see someone that I don't recognize by their gamer tag that appears to be on the clan where I'm the administrator and probably the only person running it.
Oh, you're the owner
Okay.
of the clan.
Yeah. Well, somebody created it. I think it might have
How
been
did you
Panda,
come by ownership of it? Did they leave?
because the person that created it is not playing anymore.
They left.
It was my
Knock him out. Here you
my
go.
default.
You
No
I'm gonna say
problem.
you inherited the group,
Yes,
is what it
I
is. Okay.
inherited it. Yes, with all the benefits and that it allows me. I can boot myself. There you go.
Oh, there you go. You can boot yourself.
So I put probably a couple of hours on it. It's not a long expansion, but I do like that it does a lot of things to bring newcomers. Like you could tell that their focus is to simplify things without really dumbing them down. I mean, you still need to pay attention to what you're getting, but say, for example, comparing between the loot that you get and what you have on at the moment is a lot easier now because it's just like almost like bars that you can read. You know, if the bars are bigger,
Yeah.
chances are, and it is a particular skill that you want, then you know that's better one. You use that one, or if you have a particular special skill that is like almost like a god skill, I think that's what they actually call them when they're like really, really
God
high.
skills? Okay.
Yeah, almost. And you don't want to get rid of that. I'm gonna take this away because this is actually making a lot of noise already.
It's not even that. It's just that it's flowing in the wind.
Oh, yeah. It looks like I have a case. It does sound like
It's flowing in the wind. I feel like it's
is great.
David Santos.
If you haven't seen the pictures,
AKA
I'm basically wearing aluminum
Hero
foil
of Orlando.
that is supposed to keep me warm.
Evidently. I'm not,
Is
I'm
it
not
working?
even.
Is it working?
I'll answer that in a few more minutes. My body needs to produce the heat first. So if you have a particular skill that you want to keep, you can go to this skill bank in your
Base?
base, yeah, and when you can almost like extract it from it and keep it, and then later on you can add it with another piece of more powerful gear, for example.
Okay.
So that's cool. So it lets you customize in very different ways your gear to your play style, which is I think their goal. Although it was hilarious that the first hour of me playing and we all almost all players hit a bug where we couldn't progress
Oh,
because
Oh,
there
the worst kind of bug.
yeah. And for a live service game,
Oh, yeah.
right?
absolutely, yeah.
Where you're supposed to talk to an NPC and you press F and nothing happens, and you just press X and nothing happens, and it's like, well, of course it is a Ubisoft game, so it needs a couple patches. So
Of course,
there's
of
no
course.
hurry for anybody to jump into it unless you're already at the end game of it. Certainly, if you do want to play it but you haven't gotten to level 30 because you need to be level 30 to start that campaign. But you can boost yourself. You can boost the character that you currently have.
How would you do that?
Or I know, right? I don't.
You literally.
I would do that on a new character. Like if I want
If you already cleared the game, I could see it. But if you're starting out the game fresh, like you're literally cutting so much content out of the game that you already paid for, and you're not gonna play through it.
Yeah. I mean, the story so far seems it's interesting, but the Vision story was never fantastic.
I was gonna say, because if you were to quiz me on what's going on in the story so far, I could not tell you.
We're not paying attention to.
I know that I'm booting up some kind of system. That's.
I have no clue. I don't even know that much.
Connecting to satellites or something. I don't know.
The thing with playing these live services with your friends is that you're not paying attention. You're not there for the story. You don't pay attention because you're just hanging out with your friends.
Oh no!
Of course, no one's paying attention to the story.
I don't. If the story is good enough, I will pay attention. Like when I was.
What about if no one else? Like if we're talking, like what are you gonna tell us? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I might.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about because, like, you literally ignore my invite just because you're playing a story game.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
I've actually, like, in Final Fantasy 14, I've told people like I'm about to mute all of you because I'm about to watch a cutscene. I'll be back in like 15 minutes.
You know what? If there was a feature for next generation consoles that would be ideal, would be that like an automatic on cutscenes. Mute me the fuck off. Yeah. Like, mute everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the long way is at least let me pause the cutscene while I mute everybody.
Yeah, I know, right? At least.
Yeah. Minimum, yeah.
That might be harder on the live game, but whatever. Honestly, as far as games, that's it. That has consumed me.
Really?
It's either the Division 2 on PC, where I have my higher end character, or the Division 2 on PlayStation 4 with you guys because it's fun because we're hanging around.
It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I jumped back into the game, it reminded me of the Division 1, and I really did like the Division 1, like the going around the city and everything, and discovering whatever every nook and cranny. That to me that was fun. It's just that when you got to the end game and everything was literally just a bullet sponge. It was kind of annoying.
That was the Vision 2. Once you hit the end game, you pretty much hit a wall at one point. So this expansion is meant to address that.
Does it?
And plus the patches, as well. And I mean, I'm not like a high level player, so I really can't speak. All I can say is that I am having fun. And I do intend to see it through. It's not a really long campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you said, because it's fun exploring the city, and at least their cities are well realized enough to where it looks livable, looks interesting. I'm planning on sticking with it.
Nice.
But I also tried playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Did you?
Oh, really?
Mobile.
Oh, no.
What the fuck?
No.
So background.
No.
There's a background?
This week I had to travel for work, and I had to go to California.
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm.
And for 3 days. So it's a long ass flight, from Florida. Mm-hmm. From here to there was 5.5 hours. And then from there back, for some reason, it was only 4. So I don't know how that works. Maybe they took a straighter line. I don't know. Maybe they hit traffic on the way. Probably.
The first time. Going there was traffic.
The thing is, on the way back, I heard that game was released. And I was like, oh.
On mobile?
Yeah, on mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, on mobile. And, I mean, hearing that it's obviously a Konami joint, I was like, oh man, how bad could they have fucked up Symphony of the Night for mobile? I mean, it can't be that bad. And I saw the early reviews from people that have played it, and it sounded excited enough, know. So I was like, this will be cool to have on this long ass trip where I won't be able to do anything else, And I did. I downloaded it. I played like 15 minutes of it, and I was nope, done.
I can imagine that game requires a certain level of precision.
Yes. The game runs fine. As a matter of fact, this is the PSP version of the game where they fix the dialogue. It's no
the
longer,
unnecessary
"What is
fix.
this,
Yes.
man?"
Yeah. They could have left it in. What the hell?
is
Was
the
it?
man?
Yeah.
They should have given the option because I did not like the dialogue. I never liked a little miserable pile of secrets. I never liked the dialogue on Symphony of the Night. I think the way
secrets.
yes, that was the dialogue on the original was terrible. Obviously, they fixed it on this version or on the PSP version, and it makes a lot more sense. You could also start the game playing with different characters if you enter their name on the. Well, when you start the game, you're supposed to enter your name for save purposes.
Yeah.
But if you put Maria, you start playing with Maria Castlevania, whatever her last
Really?
name is.
Okay. Mario Castlevania. Okay.
It's a different character. It's difficult as hell with her. Anyway, I just wanted to play normal. So, my character started with Richard Belmont. Oh, you could also play with
The
Richard
Belmont?
Belmont, the whole thing. But no, I just wanted to play normal because I wanted to play with my boy Alucard. And the problem with the game was that because obviously you don't get any tactile feedback, so sometimes you want to jump and you can't because your finger is not pressing on the exact spot on the.
Hence the problem with these.
Yeah.
It's
Hence the problem
one,
with most mobile games in general. And
to be fair, a lot of that has been fixed. If not that you would have
If you
done
say
this,
so.
but a lot has been fixed in the sense that you can, like for instance, you can link your PlayStation 4 controller to your
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
true. You
if
can
you
do
would
that
have brought your PlayStation 4 controller with you, then
Yes.
you can just set up the thing. And, you know what I mean? But it's like,
Yes.
is this mobile gaming now? I mean, it is
I guess it
technically,
is.
yeah. So
Also, the person that was playing it on the YouTube was saying that they were playing on a PlayStation 4 controller, but somehow the layout of the gamepad on the screen was still there, so it's not like you can make it disappear.
Really?
So like,
Oh,
what's
I
the
can
point?
see that, yeah.
I don't know
I mean-
if that will be addressed in a patch or if that was just.
I mean, it shouldn't get that much in the way, considering that you're supposed to have your thumbs in the middle of it.
True. Yeah. But if I'm playing with a controller, then I don't.
You
want
really don't need
any
that
of
there.
shit.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, you could probably get used to it. You'll have to be a super fan to want to play it on mobile. Also, it was $3, so it's not a big loss.
What is it with $3 games anyhow?
I mean,
that's a
you
sweet
got a whole
spot.
division, yeah.
It's a sweet spot.
Yeah. I mean, it got
Hey,
it got Mad Dog to play The Division, a
True.
live service game. Need we say more?
I mean, I've seen him play live service games before.
yeah, but have you seen him enjoy playing? a
Yeah.
live game?
So
Destiny 1 like a gazillion years ago.
I didn't pay for that one. First off,
There you go.
But it was a live service
It
game.
enhances your enjoyment
it
when
was
you
a
haven't
live
played
service
them.
game.
I'm
yeah.
talking Destiny 1. Did you play Destiny 1?
I
Will?
did.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was free?
You can stop right there.
It was bought for me by this one here.
Oh,
Sir.
somebody paid
Somebody
for it.
paid for it.
Drop it. let's continue.
There's a sore spot of sorts.
I
Let's
told
stop.
I
We don't
told
talk
like
about
yeah. Well, all right. Unfortunately, since it's coming up,
Fuck.
I was just like, dude, why did you pay for this? You didn't
You
know.
weren't
you
like
enjoyed
that.
it, though? Didn't we play it
That
together?
would have been rude.
The first Destiny. No,
Yeah, no?
no.
Damn, I thought
I only
we
play.
did.
I only played with him, and I only played the story. And to be fair, I did enjoy my time with it. I'm not gonna say I enjoyed my time with it. It wasn't great, but I did enjoy it because we were playing together for the most part.
Should have played with me and my crew, man.
We had
What's
a
the
crew.
difference?
But, we had. I
Is it
mean,
because I was
actually,
playing with me?
GG had a fucking crew because
Yeah,
so
I
many of them
remember.
playing
I
it.
remember I played with Ramiro.
Ramiro,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
Captain,
Was still
Captain
fucking
Destiny right there.
playing
Yes.
Destiny. This guy.
Dude, we were looking when we logged in the other day, and I think we were playing the Division, right?
Yeah,
we
we were
logged in to play
playing
the
The
Division, and we just scrolling like, fucking first off,
Destiny.
shout out to Ramiro.
Oh, of
obviously.
course, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
but it's
down,
just
lots
no
of
more
love.
higher level of respect
No,
to have
absolutely.
for a
This
gamer.
is
than
all
someone as
respect.
dedicated as he is
Absolutely.
to a game.
absolutely. This is
You know.
all respect. It's just funny. We scroll down. Of course, he's.
What
What were you
Destiny.
expecting him to be playing? What else were you
Of course, he's
expecting?
playing Destiny 2.
If he only discovered the Division,
He probably
If we could
does.
turn him
But
to
he said he turned and goes, "This is no
There's
Destiny.
no
Yeah,
space
there's
wizards
no
here.
Destiny. Yeah,
There's no moon wizards here.
there's no wizards in the moon.
There's no wizards." There's no moon.
So
There's no moon.
of course, all that free time that I had on the plane gave me enough time to watch a couple movies.
Of course.
I wasn't looking to watch really good ones or anything like that because small screen, whatever. But I wanted something to entertain myself. So the first movie that I saw on my way there was Stubber.
Oh God.
What?
Why do you do this to yourself?
What did you
Sir,
watch?
It's
Stubber.
about to get
What
worse.
is that?
It's not a good movie. Is what it is.
It is like okay.
Stop it.
It's not a good movie.
Stop it.
But it is funny. It is entertaining. It's
If you
entertaining.
say so, sir.
It defends.
Done it with the hoodie there.
Oh my God! This you watch it, I assume, right?
No.
'Cause you haven't.
No.
And you're criticizing it.
So, and yet you believe that you're like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, and I haven't seen it.
I didn't say because listen, this is not.
All right.
This is a comedy.
All
know
right.
it's
So
a
ahead
comedy.
of time,
Uh,
out of 10, what do you give it?
this one
Oh, this is with Batista.
probably yeah, Batista and oh my God, what did they get? Kumail? Kumail?
Yeah, whatever his name is. Kumail
Indian actor from
Nanjiani.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Big Sick. Yeah,
The Big Sick,
I love that guy. He
Oh, don't
is
get me
a
wrong.
really
I
good
think he's a
actor.
great, yeah, absolutely.
Especially
And
in the Big Sick, he was fantastic.
Yeah, Big Sick
All
was
right.
awesome. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
is it good? 1 out of 10. 10
Listen,
being best,
no,
1
do
being...
you like comedies?
The fact that you want to answer the question already.
Do you
works
like
me. I
comedies?
like comedy
Because you have to
movies.
start from that. Because I can tell you,
I like
it's
comedy
a
movies.
6, and you'll be like, well, I'm not gonna watch that crap. But if I like
movies.
comedies, I can watch a 6 and have a good time. You know,
I mean, yeah.
I'm not gonna pay for it.
I like comedies. I watch Fast and the Furious.
Oh fuck,
You know who agrees that it's a 6? IMDb.
IMDb. Yep.
6
Like-
out of 10.
Listen, if you, I mean, you,
Out of 20
you
28,000
Since
reviews.
when
Stop.
am I accompanied by such
Wait,
movie snobs
wait,
that
hold
cannot
on.
enjoy
You
a
scoff.
simple, funny movie that I'm gonna watch on a fucking plane?
Hey,
Because I'm not
no
gonna watch
judgment.
Parasite
Wait,
on the plane.
Wait, you're scoffing at my Fast and Furious comment when you didn't hear those are not action movies. Those are literally comedy movies.
Which
Yeah,
ones?
yeah,
Fast and Furious movie. That's a comedy franchise.
yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
It's
Nah,
definitely a
it's-
comedy franchise. It may not want to be,
Nah.
but it is a comedy.
It started
franchise.
off
Well,
that way.
listen,
It's absolutely
this might as
hilarious.
well be the Fast and the Furious of comedy. Completely passable, but it's not gonna not get
Watch
sucked
it
up.
overall, you
Watch
give it a
it free
6.
on
Okay.
Netflix.
It's a 6, and the reason for that is because it ends up being a funny a funny movie, but it's not gonna. This is not something that you should just jump into right now and rent. Like if you see it on Netflix or Prime, sure, grab it. Why not? Unless
If it's
you
free.
don't like comedies.
I mean,
I'm
like
not-
I said, I
I'm
like
Like I said, the
comedies.
person right here.
Yeah, I'm not a big comedy guy. Yeah,
I actually do like comedies. I like, but
Yeah. Yeah.
comedies have been kind of rough lately.
I don't really care for comedies, and knowing that you give this one a 6, it's like I'm definitely not watching this. I'll leave this to
But
for my wife
got
to
a
put it on.
WWE wrestler in it, and everybody
yet-
loves wrestlers.
And yet,
Uh-huh.
you watched this other movie
Uh-huh.
that I saw,
Did I like it?
also a comedy.
Uh huh.
I don't know because I didn't care enough to think about this.
Oh, I
enough
can't
to give
wait.
some-
Uh-huh.
This Good Boys.
The Good Boys was funny.
Fuck you!
Good Boys was
movie
hilarious.
Yo, man,
was
is it
stupid
good?
as hell.
Dude, The
No.
Good Boy.
No.
He says no.
No.
And
No.
I, for the record, I give it a solid
3
8.
out of 10.
What?
I give it a solid 8.
Wow.
And the
3
reason why,
and
yeah,
8.
the reason
Not
why,
divisive at all.
Oh, I don't like comedy movies, but I like this.
So here's why I give it an 8. Okay, I related
I was
so
drunk.
much with these little little freaking bastard kids. Okay, I really, really did.
So let me tell you. So basically, it's almost. So it's a group of kids that immediately makes you think, oh, it's like with the kids on Stranger Things almost. I think.
No,
as a matter of fact,
not even.
No.
There's almost like a joke of on the movie about about it. But obviously, this is not Stranger Things. It's not meant to
No,
be
it's
like
not.
that. But
No, it's not. I saw a trailer. No, it's not.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. What are you trying to say?
It's not.
There's
it's
not.
nothing
There's
like
nothing,
the
nothing like
Stranger
Stranger Things.
Right.
Things
It's not
at
yeah,
all.
Yeah, it's totally not. But it's a movie that would have been a stupid kid movie if it wasn't for all the cursing. Because the plot itself is stupid. They just they're trying to get one of them. I think his name was Max to go to a kissing party.
Yeah,
that was the whole
they're
premise
kids.
of it.
I mean, they're kids.
Right.
They're not like you know.
Are they tweens?
They're tweens.
No,
Yes, that's exactly
yeah.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what they are. They're tweens.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly. They're like 12 years old.
But somehow the movie.
And kissing parties were big, okay, when you were 11 and 12 year old. All right, let's be real.
That's, like I said,
I was a loser
it's
back
a
then. I have no
premise.
idea what that was.
I'm just saying those
Yeah, I'm
were
just
those
saying.
were. I mean, you know, I don't remember ever calling it that, but I knew what those were. You know, it's like I knew what those were.
Of course.
Okay.
Again, it's a kids movie premise, but
It is
with an
definitely not a
adult,
kids- yeah.
you know,
With a lot of
thing,
cursing.
with a lot
Yeah,
of
it
cursing,
is
a lot of
not a kids
sexual
movie at all.
references, innuendo, and all that shit.
And
And
none
the
of
funny thing
jokes
is
were
that the
hitting.
innuendo
No,
flies
there was no
over their
innuendo.
head.
It was pretty.
It,
on the
yeah,
nose.
to us, but not to the kids.
Right.
So it was like it was it was stupid shit. Like no, you need to stay with her because she's a nympho. It's like wait, a nympho meaning that, and I can't remember what he said, but it's like no, that means she has sex on land and on sea. You know, stupid stuff like that. You're like, there is all right. So let's be real here. There is. We all have that moment where we were like, we thought we knew something about something,
Right.
and we were like sure about it, and then we, you know, as you get
something
older, you get
completely
lower. I was like,
different.
man, I was really wrong. Thank God nobody found out about that. You know what I mean? These kids put all that shit out in the open. They air that shit out, and it's just like, obviously, it's not real, and that's the whole point.
Right.
The premise of it's not real at all.
Yeah.
But it's just you can't. For me, I couldn't help but connect, going. Yeah, I remember being this stupid. You know what I mean? I remember being this- Okay,
So
go
you
ahead, sir.
didn't like it.
No, sir.
He doesn't
Fortunately,
remember being this stupid. That's what.
this movie.
He was like-
I
he
probably
was-
was. I do remember kissing parties, but
Did you ever call it that?
It-
No, you
huh?
never call
No,
it. That
we
was
don't
never
call
called.
it
Yeah, that's
that.
what I'm saying.
It was a party de marquesina, and that's the ones where you will you start putting
Party de Marquesina. Wow, that's hilarious.
you will never ask me why my heart is so deep. You know, you put that shit, and it was time to grab ass.
Oh, yeah,
and to
yeah.
fucking,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
make out with like yeah.
I know it.
Wow.
So, but yeah, no, but it's unfortunately.
I was playing Star Ocean when that shit went down. So, cheers to
Star
that.
Ocean.
Cheers to that, sir.
Yeah, Good Boys is not great. It's just, I mean, watch it.
To be fair, I don't think I can ever recommend it. I can just say it's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But and I've seen it twice. Like I saw it the first time, and then I think Ed, my brother-in-law, whatever, came by us, and we still had you know how you have a rental and it's like 48 hours. So I'm like,
yeah.
all right, well, let's just play it again.
Play again.
And it was just enjoyable. And
Yeah.
you, like I said, all of us kind of connected. Like, oh my god, I remember being that freaking dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't know who you guys were hanging out with. Or who you're
Dumb
All-
kids,
all
bro.
of
What do you
that
want from me?
people.
It was a bunch of dumb people.
was.
Yeah, we were all pretty stupid.
It was.
Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
no, that one was not great. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, no, it's not your
Hey,
fault.
it's
You
your
didn't enjoy
opinion,
it.
man.
You didn't enjoy it. It is what it is.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you should have one.
An asshole?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
I hope
definitely
so.
should have one. And an opinion, just saying.
Otherwise, life is going to be really rough for you.
I was gonna be very mean. I was gonna be like, yeah, I do. It's sitting right in front of me. Oh, well, that's the way. Completely not
no
meant to.
wonder.
That was not-
No wonder
I would
your
never
wife
say
says that.
I didn't
It's-
say
You're
it.
so mean to me. Oh,
I didn't
wow.
say it. I did not say it. I didn't say
But
it.
you did, though.
No, I did. I said hypothetically. I had a perfect chance for a comeback, and I did not use it.
Fair
I
enough.
thought about it. This
Fair
is what
enough.
it was, but I didn't say it. But you did.
But you just kind of did. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's all I mean.
All right, guys. Well, we will discuss the game Final Fantasy because I have a few days in my life that I can actually play games now, and it's just actually with my new schedule, I should have more time to do so.
Oh,
'Cause
nice.
I'm only working 4 days out of a week, so it should open up some more time for gaming. But
Actually, me too.
yeah,
Yeah, now I'm part time now, man. Like next week, I got 4 days off.
really
Oh God, it's gonna be great.
awesome. But no, I did watch a couple of things. First off, I was able to completely get through, or at least catch up to right now. Tomorrow is the season finale. You are Chaos, you weren't here for the last one, but there's a show
No, I was not.
on the on HBO called The Outsider, which
I think I've gone by it a couple times.
it is. If you haven't seen it, put the shit on.
Okay.
Just watch the first episode. If the mystery hasn't gotten you by the first episode, and it will.
Is that HBO?
It is HBO, yeah.
Okay.
It will.
I might have to restart that subscription
it
again.
will seriously get its talons in you if you,
Okay.
you know what I mean.
All right.
My wife and I, we literally burned through the entire season, and of course because of HBO being HBO, we have it releases episodes every week, and last week was episode 9. And episode 10 comes out tomorrow, and that's it. That's the end of the season.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, it's perfect.
Let's see if I can get my wife to have like the free trial and give it a shot.
Correct. Create an email somewhere, some fake email, and then jump into it. But
Okay.
It's really good. I was able to catch the last episode. I only had watched the very first episode, and it just consumed me, dude. I watched it throughout the entire weekend, and it was just really, really, really good. Highly recommended. The Outsider. Let me go. Let me just bring up the. I had a list.
Let me bring up my list.
You
But yeah,
forgot
had a
what you
freaking
did in the
list.
week?
Getting old, guys. What do you
Oh,
want from me?
spare me that excuse.
Oh, that's right. Terminator Dark Fate, guys.
Oh,
Did you
God.
really? Did you really?
I did.
You really did?
I did.
Why?
And you know what?
Why? I want to know why.
I don't know why, but I kind of liked it.
No way.
I kind of freaking
Right
liked
here.
it.
No way.
I kind of.
Remember what
Let's
I
do that
said?
shit again. No. There it is.
There
There
you
you go.
I gotta say, bro, it is.
I haven't watched it, but I haven't
You
heard
should.
anything good of it.
I have no idea. I honestly haven't looked, but first off, seeing the original Sarah Connor,
Right.
the badass Sarah Connor, being badass. Oh my god, you know what I'm saying? She was badass as in her beautiful gray hair and everything. Kind of had a little crush on her. Just throwing that out there, okay?
Noted.
And frankly, it hasn't got away even now. Even seeing her here, I'm like, yeah, she's still kind of badass. You know what I mean? So anyway, my point is to say, it was actually way, way better than I thought. And honestly, when you look at some of the other Terminator films, it's like, I forgot how bad some of these were, right? Terminator Genesis, the worst thing ever.
I didn't watch it, but I remember 3.
The worst thing, damn.
Honestly,
3 was
Terminator
pretty bad.
Genesis makes 3 look good.
Wow.
Okay.
That's bad. I
3
did like Salvation. I don't care what anybody says that.
I did it too.
That movie. I like
I
that
did too.
movie.
It's just it was a very different Terminator
Yeah.
type movie, but I did enjoy it too. It was very gray or very brown.
Very
Just
brown.
like it was
Very
like
brown.
the color scheme they
Lot
went
of
with. Was
brown.
like, yeah. Here, this is term that
A
I've
lot of blue.
this. Sure, why not? There's this term I found. It's called Legasequel, and you guys should actually look this up. Legasequel. This is what they've been calling these films, where they create a sequel
And they
to
ignore
something.
some of the other ones.
It's well, sometimes they do, but primarily it's meant to bridge this gap with a property that happened a long time ago.
Okay.
In this particular instance, with Terminator, they kind of cut out a lot of the stuff and said, "All right, everything after, everything after Terminator 2 didn't exist, right?
Doesn't exist. Don't matter.
Correct,
Non-canon.
exactly. However, The Force Awakens is also considered a legacy sequel because it's bridging this gap. Because remember, the prequels happened in the 90s,
Right.
so sequel from
Early 2000s.
it could have been late 90s, early 2000s. The sequels to Return of the Jedi actually didn't happen until now, right? The Force Awakens.
Right.
That actually was that's a legacy sequel in the sense that it carries over stuff that and try to link everything up together. This is a successful movie, I think. To me, I think actually ended up losing money.
I was going
in
to say,
the
I
box
think it
office.
bombed.
Yeah,
in
it
the
bombed the
box
box office,
office.
but
It did
realistically,
badly.
I don't know about successful.
it's successful in the sense that the story did what it needed to do. Yes, it has some silliness to it. I don't know if you've seen anything of the trailer or something like that.
I've seen plenty of videos on it because I really have little interest in it.
I would definitely. I would suggest you watch it.
Okay.
Don't pay for it. Watch it somehow that the service that you already have, whatever the case may be. But I can definitely say that I found it more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Mostly because, and also, I was concerned about Arnold Schwarzenegger's being there. I was like, oh, why does he have to be in this?
Motherfucking Terminator.
From a long time ago. So
I know, and now he aged.
He's a
because
T800,
reasons. Yeah.
and how many models have we passed this? And we're still dealing with a T800.
Not that many, because remember, they retcon all that shit.
True.
So,
Spoilers
yeah,
for
that's
anybody who
true.
doesn't know. Yeah, this is actually a smart, in a way, it's a smart reboot, right? Because it's a reboot in the sense that if you saw Terminator 2 ended everything. So everything that happened with John Connor, he never became the hero because he didn't have to, right? They eliminated Skynet, right? So
supposedly.
But you jump forward in time a little bit, and things now people are still coming back from the future, but it's because it's a different future. It's not John Connor anymore. It's something else that led to the end of humanity. My only issue with the film is, so if it's a whole new thing, why does it have to be so similar to the old one, right? And it was like, it didn't have to do exact same thing. That's the problem. And there lies the issue, right? It had an opportunity to really, really rewrite everything. So it's like the Terminator that comes from the past is different, but not that different. It's like you have the first one that has the exoskeleton, right? It comes from the future, yeah.
Oh, you said past.
I did? Oh, I'm sorry. It's an exoskeleton was the first one, right, from Terminator.
Yeah.
The second one was a liquid metal Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
So here, it's both.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
I saw that.
So
Yeah.
it's like
it's a hybrid.
So
yeah,
it's a hybrid.
Yeah.
There you
So
go. Why not?
It could have been something complete. It could have been one of those freaking
Nanomachines, bro.
remember the rolling robots from the oh my god, from the Phantom Menace?
Oh yeah,
it could have been something similar like that.
It
It could have been anything like. It could have been several of those. It could have been something
Yeah.
Did they
different.
show up again in the series at all? Because those robots were like
Yes, the ones, and they would like a shield would plop right in
Yeah.
front. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
so useful. They barely ever used them.
Because
had
they're too strong. They're too OP. We
they
created
had all
something
these
too strong.
They had all these like ragdoll droids.
Tell me if you agree with this.
Uh-huh.
Because I came out of the movie theater. I should have went to the movie theater to watch
Oh, you
this.
did? Okay.
And we discussed it on the podcast, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I was entertained.
It's an entertaining film.
You know?
It is an entertaining film.
But the more I think about the movie,
The stupider it gets.
not a good movie in the sense of in the sense of if this is what they're trying to make the Terminator franchise be like this franchise is done.
Oh no, this is.
I mean, granted, it's done because
Yeah, I was gonna
this
say,
one, nobody
I'm pretty sure the box office spoke already.
yeah,
It's done.
but it has some. It has a lot of moments of ridiculousness. Like this movie takes a big ass dump on Terminator 2. You know, the favorite Terminator. Right now.
So
in a way, it is obscene in a way they handle that.
That was shocking.
Yeah.
Realistically, that was shocking. But at the same time, I was kind of okay with it. Yeah, I was kind of. I mean, it was shocking, but I was kind of okay.
I think
with
I know
it.
what you guys are talking about. It's in the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah, the beginning of
I
the
know
movie
what
we're
you're
not going to
talking
say anymore.
So I get it. Yes, it did rub a lot of people the wrong way, but I was just like, first off, I can't really say it, but frankly, I wasn't mad at what happened. Considering.
Wow.
It was just a little annoying. I'm just saying.
Whatever.
But anyway, the point is,
Hasta la
It was
vista, baby.
basically everything that happened on Terminator 2. Forget about it.
It don't matter, right?
It no
But
matter. It has no way.
But that was already settled. See, that was what I was trying to say. It was already settled because everything
Right.
happened in Terminator 2 did matter in this case because that end of the world scenario isn't there. The problem is
This is a different end of the
correct.
world
Yeah, see, that's the
scenario.
thing. The thing is it's not Skynet. It's something else. It's not so. It's a bunch of different things. It's like, why couldn't it be very different?
Yes.
It could have been something completely different. Why did it have to be another? And in there is where it falls short. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So, I enjoyed it. Had good action. I like this the lead character. I can't think of her name now.
You definitely have a crush on Sarah Connor.
Well, I love Sarah Connor.
Oh,
I can't remember her name. Grace or something. Her name was. She has short blonde hair.
Yeah, she
really
looked pretty
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
She was actually really awesome.
Yeah.
As far as
the scenes that I saw that she was in it, because I already spoiled the movie for me. I don't care.
for yourself, yeah.
Yeah, and she looked really good.
Yes, definitely. Actually, the action was honestly really, really well done, and is well done because the director or the writers, both probably, this was one of those movies where they created the set pieces first, the action set pieces, and then wrote the story around them. You know what I mean? So the focus was so well. Yes, and to be fair, there are movies that do that, and there are movies that do that well. Mission Impossible, for instance, is one of them. The last couple Mission Impossibles, all the action pieces were, this is what I want to do. We're going to do this. He's going to jump from here, whatever.
Now,
let's figure out the story.
Now
correct.
give me a reason why he's doing it.
And they've been done really well.
You like the Mission Impossible movie?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I haven't watched the last one.
Yes, you need to watch that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I enjoyed it. It was good stuff. And then I started watching this show on this. I can't recommend this for the record. It's actually a show on Netflix. It's called Gentefied. Okay.
What?
It's called Route 34.
So it's supposed to be a play on words for gentrified. You know y'all know what gentrified is. I don't have to explain what that is.
For the audience, might not know.
Okay, so gentrified is when it's a low class neighborhood that gets essentially bought out or improved by a bunch of young rich yuppies, and they come in and improve everything, and suddenly everything's super expensive, and it literally forces little by little the people who live there out, right? Brooklyn is a perfect example of that. Okay, Brooklyn, when I was in New York, was a ghetto. You go to Brooklyn now, you get an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, you're paying $2,500 a month for. And
God damn.
Yes, and you have the high-priced restaurants and all the stuff that wasn't there when I was there, because that's just, So Oakland is going through that.
The hippies did it.
Yeah, hipsters, yeah. That's exactly what happened. So in here, this takes place in East LA. There's an older gentleman who runs like a taco shop. You know what I mean? He's been there forever, and little by little, his neighborhood's getting changed by things. And it's so the play on words is, instead of gentrified, it's gentefied. You know what I mean?
I thought it was like hentai.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's what I first got. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I just want to make sure that I heard what I actually heard. I was glad that it wasn't.
It is not.
glad that it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not a well thought out thing. I'm sure.
Titled, yeah,
I don't think they ever heard the word hentai.
Yeah, I don't think they have. They call it.
Oh my god! Let me hear this explanation before I say anything.
So the characters, and because we're obviously Latino, I think you'll find a connection with the characters. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Mexican, but I know Mexican families are very similar to Puerto Rican families. We all have the same thing. We have the similar,
a lot of the same dynamic,
religious aspects and all that stuff, right? Sir, your foil is making a lot of noise.
I'm gonna get you the jacket in my car. I promise.
Is it annoying?
I swear.
It's not annoying to me, but it may be annoying to the people listening.
It's not that I need it, but I feel bad not using it since your wife brought it in. And
give me a break.
I was gonna say, I'll tell her. No, I threw it out.
I'll get you the other jacket as soon as we go on break. I promise. Did it warm you up though?
Yeah, is it doing its job?
It worked actually. I had to take it off. I was like, okay.
Oh, so you actually got hot with it?
Yeah, it is. That's what it's.
That is what it's for. Yeah, it is a rescue bag.
I just wish it didn't.
If it didn't sound that much, yeah. I feel like I'm wrapping a huge present. All right, I'm gonna just throw it back there.
I mean, I'm about to just.
All right. The picture's posted, right?
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, Gentefied, it's they're very short episodes.
Already.
It's only 10 episodes, and they're like 30 minutes each. So it's easily digestible. It's not the greatest acting. Some of the characters are pretty good, but it's just, like I said, it's ultimately relatable. There's just no way you can watch this and not walk away going, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? It's just, and it's really cool. Here's the funny part. The main character, or one of the main characters, he's playing a Mexican, but he's not Mexican. And in real life, he's not Mexican. But in the show, a lot of the Mexicans around him go, they don't treat it like, you're a fake Mexican. You know what I mean? You speak differently. You don't like Mexican food. You don't like Mexican music. You're not a real Mexican.
I could definitely identify with that.
I can as well. So, because I've gotten that a lot throughout my life. So now the funny thing about the main character is that in real life, he's Puerto Rican.
Oh,
yes. So that's where it's like, okay, I kind of enjoy where this is going because that really connects with me because I've dealt with that through
all my life.
Oh yeah. So anyway, that's
I don't like avocados. Sue me.
Get out,
sir. I was gonna
Get
say
out.
you need to just.
I don't.
Do you like
care.
guacamole?
No.
Dear Lord, what do we do? My friend, actually, I had a friend who was the same way. He didn't like avocados. He called it, why would I want to eat something that tastes like solidified water? And
So
honestly,
it's like ice?
I had zero like comeback for that. I was like, yeah, I get you, bro. You know, I was like, all right, I can't convince you then. Anyway, Gentefied, which sounds funny. I mean, let's just call it Gentefied.
Right now on the adult section of Crunchyroll.
Gentefied.
Netflix now has an adult section, guys. Go and it starts with this show.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is all that I have been doing. And we're back, guys, and it is time for our useless news that you can use.
That didn't sound very. Where's the enthusiasm on that one?
I don't know. I was looking at the bars. You're going to start over?
Back.
Oh, okay. Well,
Let's
wait.
Right. And
Then we're back, guys.
there we go.
Woo! Man, what
It is
a
episode 200,
restful
sir.
break we had. We had some coffee. We
Wow,
had
coffee
some
was great.
donuts. No, maybe not donuts, but cake
No,
of
but-
some sort.
Okay.
I had vanilla wafers.
Vanilla wafers
Yeah,
were
sure.
involved as
Vanilla
well.
wafers.
Yes, absolutely. As I mentioned, it is time for the useless news that you all can use. I'm going to start with a piece of news where at first I was a little bit like, and now I'm like, you know what? I guess if they're going to do it, this will be the best way to do it. The Last of Us is being adapted into an HBO TV series.
I'm okay with that.
As am I. A television adaptation of The Last of Us, a post-apocalyptic survival franchise from PlayStation Studios Naughty Dog, is in the works at HBO, reports Hollywood Reporter. The project is intended to be a TV series, according to the Hollywood Reporter. It is being led by Craig Mazin, who previously worked on HBO on the acclaimed 2019 miniseries Chernobyl, and is writing the upcoming Borderlands movie. Interesting. Mason will team up with Naughty Dog Vice President Neil Druckmann, co-director and writer of both The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2, to write and executive produce the TV show. So here's why I say that. Was it last week? Right, we were talking about movies, video game movies, right? That it just didn't make sense, right? This is a perfect example where I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with this because now that I know it's a series. I know it's going to have time to breathe. It's going to have time to have some development of some characters.
They don't necessarily need to be feel themselves forced to use the characters of the games.
I'm sure they're going to. But, you know, what I'm trying to say is it's not going to feel like these characters are, their motivations are, you know, you're not going to.
You really think that
That they will?
Joel and they will have Ellie?
I'm sure they will.
Well, actually,
sure
they
they
did
will.
mention that they don't intend to change Ellie. So
There you go.
yeah.
That's more than enough to say that they're going to have, yeah. So I feel that it is, it's still, as much as I say we don't need it, if you're going to do it, then do it in a way where you can really do it some justice. A 2-hour film is not going to do it justice. However, a 10-hour series, that can do it some justice. You know, that can actually fill in some gaps. Because if you really think about it, the game itself, I think the first time I beat it was like 18 hours or something like that. But you eliminate all the gameplay sections and you have a decent story. But the story is still longer than a 2-hour movie. You know, you can actually, you know, still do some justice. And I haven't seen Chernobyl. It's actually on my list to watch. But HBO has a good track record when it comes to series. So I'm actually excited for this. Game of Thrones was great up until the ending. But Watchmen, if you haven't watched The Watchmen, excellent
Oh, yeah, I
series.
gotta watch that.
Excellent fucking series. And then right now, like I said, I've been watching The Outsider, another great series. It's really, really good. Their background. I just said The Outsider. The Leftovers is another one that's really good. They're really good. So I actually have some faith that this may actually turn out to be something good. So hopefully, we'll see.
And they have. It's interesting to see that these companies are feeling. I don't know why feeling the need to use game properties more.
Mhm.
Like, what do you think that is?
That they're using because Hollywood is running out of fucking stories. I mean, what else is there? I mean, realistically, we look at it, Hollywood's borrowed from books for the longest time. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we don't have this, but hey, there's this book that's great. Let's adapt that
been
into
like that like forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've been doing that forever. So
Nothing new.
Stories, and then comic books were the newer thing. We're like, okay, well, here's a good story.
Well, I
You
mean,
know what
they've been trying with video games for like 20 plus years at this point.
But they've been trying longer for comic book movies. They've been trying that shit since the 80s.
Yeah.
Since before the 80s. So why not? You know what I mean? Why not have, now I think it's going to take some time, but I still think because of the type of story video games tend to bring, you just can't do it in a movie. But you can do it in a series. Look at The Witcher. Look at Castlevania.
I mean, but
You know what I
even comic books, you can look at the Marvel Universe, and it's basically just a series of movies.
Correct? Yeah.
And it was the only way it worked out is because it
Yep.
spanned that many movies.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem with DC. They don't fucking understand it.
No, they're trying to rush everything.
You need to have some background, guys.
Yeah.
So
No, we're going to start Batman v Superman, and Wonder Woman's going to be there for absolutely no goddamn
Yeah.
reason.
And then we're going to jump right into
And
Justice
then
League
Justice
because
League.
why
Fuck
not?
it.
Everybody knows Justice League.
Yeah.
We don't need a background.
Do you need a background? Seriously, you know who's in it. What else do you need to know?
Yeah.
You got an orphan. You have another orphan.
There you go. It works. Suddenly you have some movies.
And they have a mom. They share moms named Martha.
Which
Well,
is
I mean-
real, guys. I thought, for some part of me was like, did they just invent this for this? Like, no. They just, for some
You
reason,
want to know
that was Martha.
why you never noticed? Because it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter. It's the most non-important thing of the entire thing. Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
I hear
It
you.
was never.
That's new kryptonite.
Yeah, his mom is
Wow.
no
His
kryptonite.
mom's name is Martha. Who is still excited for E3 2020?
I have
The
to be.
coronavirus, apparently.
Coronavirus is thriving for it, but no, I am, but mostly because I took time off, so I have to feel excited about it for some reason. So.
I don't know, man. I've been reading these news as of late, which I'm pretty sure is where you're heading to, and
Yeah. You know who else took off?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every other partner that was supposed to be working to organize this show. So E3 2020's problems continues as retail and production partner I Am 8-Bit resigned as creative director.
Wow.
The beleaguered industry event E3 2020 has just lost its key retail and production agency partner, I Am 8-Bit, as a creative director, as I mentioned. The struggling annual video game showcase announced a partnership with I Am 8-Bit at the end of January, with instructions to reinvigorate the show. But just like that, one-time media partner, one-time media partner Jeff Keighley,
Yeah.
I Am 8-Bit has abandoned E3 this year.
wow.
And there was a tweet from I Am 8-Bit. It says, "It is with mixed emotions that I Am 8-Bit." What does that mean? It's with mixed
So
emotions.
some of them are happy that they're backing out.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, fuck that show.
Yeah. It's been dying anyway.
And the other ones are like, man, we're not gonna make it.
It is with mixed emotions that at I Am 8-Bit has decided to resign as creative directors of what was to be an evolutionary E3 2020 floor experience. We've produced hundreds of gaming and community events, and it was a dream to be involved with E3. We wish the organizer the best of luck. If it was a dream to be involved with E3, what the hell are you pulling out? Like, what is going
Wish
on?
you guys all the best of luck. We're out.
You're out. Peace out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
With just 3 months to go until E3 2020, and with very little clarity on what form the showcase is likely to take, the crisis at E3 and E3 organizer, the ESA, continues to escalate. Yesterday, California announced a state of emergency due to the coronavirus, adding pressure to an event that has continued to lose partners and relationships over the past few years.
Yeah.
And then, of course, let us not forget, Sony teaching this year and last year's, E3. Several partners, going all the way back to like when Nintendo decided not to continue having. It seems like less and less so the industry sees this event as
not necessary.
Irrelevant,
yeah, irrelevant. Yeah,
which is it's kind of sad because when you think about it, they don't think the same way about Gamescom or about PAX, for example, or events like that. So either it speaks to poor management of
ESA
of the from the ESA. Yeah, I mean last year they had that huge leak problem with all the media.
When they
had their account information they just out in the open, like easily accessible through the website of the ESA, like personal identifiable information.
It got leaked.
Yeah, and
they say accidentally, but the funny thing that wasn't the first one. That wasn't the first time they did it.
That wasn't the first time.
That was not the first time they did. Yeah.
So I mean, you hear stuff like that, and see how E3 is still a money sink for this game
for the companies. Yeah.
For the companies, when at the end of the day, they now can just show whatever they want to show either on their own venues or on the internet.
Strictly online.
Yeah, exactly.
It cost them a fraction of what it would cost to host something over in LA of all places. You know what I mean?
And let's be real.
LA Convention Center.
This thing with the virus is no joke. This event, we might as well call it right now. E3 is going to be canceled.
It may be.
I very much think so.
I mean, if you really,
it'll be the responsible thing to do.
Yeah, if you really think about it, just think of the event itself. I haven't been to an E3, but I've been to MegaCon. I've been to a lot of these places where you're touching things that other people are touching, and it's just. And then you think about this. Well, that's obviously going to happen at a gaming convention, right? Because you're going to have to grab the same controller somebody else is using, throw onto that some sort of VR device, you know what I mean? Where you know what I mean?
It's putting on your head and covering your
people
eyes
get sick.
and shit.
People get sick all the time with these things.
There's a bunch of people.
Just normally, just from a cold, you know what I mean? So you can only imagine. It only takes one.
Just for a cold,
we
are sitting in it.
So it only takes one to have that, and suddenly.
So I have a solution. So you put the entire show floor is illuminated with ultraviolet.
Oh God, that'd be no.
So that'll be killing, because you know how they say that ultraviolet
kills it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it'll kill this strain of virus, but I'm thinking maybe that could be a way to go.
At least it will illuminate the virus. There it is.
You start seeing like splotches on people's clothes. Like, the hell were you doing with that clothes,
Exactly. Dude, are you perspiring through your shirt? Yeah, it's true too. Yeah, you don't want to have too much ultraviolet light.
Yes. So I actually managed to dig something out while you guys were talking about stuff. Google poaches God of War studio head to run new Stadia game team.
Oh.
Yeah, Google is expanding its internal game development efforts with a new studio located in the Playa Vista neighborhood of Los Angeles. Stadia Games Entertainment chief Jade Raymond announced on Wednesday. Well, damn. The team will be dedicated to producing original titles for the cloud gaming service, which will be led by longtime studio head Shannon Studstill, who was formerly the head of the venerated Santa Monica studio that developed the God of War franchise for Sony. A quote from Raymond says, the new Playa Vista studio will focus on delivering exclusive games using new gameplay mechanics, creative ways to play together, and unique interaction models that we're just starting to explore.
Nice.
Yeah, that's actually, hopefully it'll bolster them. Still reading here. This is from The Verge. Stadia first launched last November, but it hasn't quite taken the gaming industry by storm as some anticipated the cloud service might. Which, by the way, I'm on episode 187. I told you guys off air, and you guys are actually talking about the Stadia.
The Stadia.
About the Stadia launch. That was the hot topic of that. Yeah,
There was a
Stadia
launch,
ones,
yeah.
that's how far back I am. Don't judge me.
Oh, we appreciate the fact that you take the time to listen to entire episodes.
Everything.
Nice.
Everything. I will catch up one of these days. Instead, its game selection has remained small, and Google has yet to open the doors to the planned free tier of Stadia that would theoretically make it much more accessible. Which I can't believe that's still not a thing. Like they still don't have the free games open. That's kind of insane. Right now, the only way to play the service is to get a buddy pass from a registered user or purchase access to a Stadia Pro subscription, which can only be done by buying the $129 Premier Edition bundle that includes a company's custom Stadia controller.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. A Chromecast Ultra for playing games on a television set, and 3 months of Stadia Pro, which after that, the subscription costs $10 a month, and grants access to 4K streaming, among other benefits like monthly free games. I mean, free games for the ones that are paying for it, but not free for anybody else that wants to try this thing.
And the free games from the selection of the few titles they still have they have available.
Well, I mean, apparently none of them are free. Like, the free tier is not open yet.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you
So
want
it's not
to play,
really
you
free.
have to. But no, it's not. There's nothing free there yet.
And
It's just calling it free.
But what do you guys think of? You think that a new development head like that will
Honestly, the way
guide them
Stadia
to
is
the right
going,
direction?
I don't know. I think a lot of there was a story that we didn't really go over a little while back, where a lot of the studios were like pulling out, like, oh, it's not, it's not, nothing's coming to fruition for them. So
funny that you mentioned, because that was actually going to be my next piece.
oh, it was okay.
Segue.
All right, well, then you go ahead. You go, and I'll go after you.
All right. So smaller dev says they won't back Stadia due to the lack of incentives. Basically, some smaller game developers aren't sold on Google's cloud streaming platform Stadia quite yet, and according to reports from Business Insider, a lack of incentives may be partially to blame. Despite launching last November, the entire Stadia catalog currently consists of 28 titles, although Google has promised to deliver an additional 120 releases this year, including plenty of heavy hitters like Cyberpunk 2077, Watch Dogs Legion, and Doom Eternal. Right now, the platform is looking a little lightweight. In an attempt to understand why Google hasn't looked to fill that void with some quality bite-sized titles, Business Insider spoke to a handful of small developers that have been approached by Google, and it seems like the tech giant has little to offer those game makers right now. And then the quote says, "We were approached by the Stadia team," says one indie developer. "Usually, with that kind of thing, they lead with some kind of offer that will give you an incentive to go out with them. But the incentive was kind of a non-existent. That's the short of it." End quote. Of course, splashing the cash isn't the only way to get folks invested in your platform. If you've got a certain amount of clout, they will often come to you. That will be like, for example, Nintendo.
A big publisher, yeah.
Yeah, put a title on the Nintendo platform, for example. They know that it'll be the right call. No other incentive necessarily needed. Right now, however, it seems like Google is lacking up on both fronts. So no cash and no incentive, and no clout. With other developers expressing skepticism at Stadia's ability to build an audience and, perhaps as a result, its long-term prospects. So you have, like you were just mentioning, you don't see a rush of smaller indie developers wanting to develop for Stadia, because first they see Stadia, they see Google as a company that they can really need at any point just pull the plug on this.
Yep.
And that's it, you know. So that you don't have the reliability. You can't count on the reliability of the platform to even be there to.
They don't have the drive that Sony and Microsoft, maybe to a less extent, but at least the Xbox division has a drive to make sure their gaming platform, is important. Sony obviously has a huge. I mean, that's probably PlayStation's the one thing carrying Sony, the company, at this point. So they also have some sort of desire to keep that platform important.
And
Google doesn't need it because Google is, with or without Stadia, Google will survive. Google will thrive in somewhere else doing other things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you
it's
see,
not.
You see people like Phil Spencer, making or attempting to make those things happen. Speaking to developers, acquiring studios, make it a big push because they think they see the Xbox ecosystem, important to them, to their long-term strategy. But unfortunately, you can't count on Google to bring up the same.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because, and it's not for lack of experience. Yeah. It's more for, I don't know. I don't understand.
It's just one of those things where they're not. I don't know. They're too big. That's what it is to me. They're just too big. They're like, we'll see how this rolls. They don't have that much of a buy-in either, right? Because there's no console that they have to manufacture, just a controller.
Well, that should have been.
You know what I mean? So
that should have been a benefit. If it wasn't for the way that they completely butchered this,
it is a benefit. But the problem is because it's one of those things. If they would have developed a box, that would have probably have forced their hand and goes, guys, we are spending money on manufacturing this box. We need to make this work. By not having a box, it's like, if it doesn't work.
I don't know if I agree with that, though, because, yes, they don't have the box, but they're certainly putting...
What I'm saying, there's no overhead, though. If you think about the money putting in, I mean, all they're putting in is they already have the means of getting... that's what I'm saying, the infrastructure.
But they're not reusing, all servers. Obviously, they're making...
True, but those servers, if they don't use it for that later on, they go, we'll use it for something else. It's not like they're going to just say, these servers were wasteless and now we have nothing to do with them.
I don't think a Google console will have... It probably would have been can it be a worse disaster than Stadia is? Haha. But I don't think that would have thrived. Because look at fucking Ouya,
but Ouya is a different story.
They were trying something different.
True, but
they wouldn't have been able to.
But they were getting freaking mobile games and bringing them to the console. Right. That's different, but. Hey, I have a mobile device. Why do I want to play?
Why do I want this in my TV?
On the TV, yeah. And not to say that people don't.
Want a Google console?
Well, we would if we can. If I'm saying, if it's a console and it automatically, you don't have to buy the games or anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. The whole point is they need to not have a console. That was their selling point. But by having that as a selling point, it was also a very low risk and low buy-in for them, for the customer, but also for them, because they're like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna install all these new servers and whatever, and we're gonna have the best. And it's gonna work, and it's gonna be perfect. But they're not. The only thing they're actually manufacturing is a controller.
So what you're saying is they don't have the drive to make it better.
They don't.
Because
correct.
They haven't put that
because they're not really
they haven't. Yeah, they don't need to.
It's not like Sony when they were taking a loss of selling the PlayStation 4 or anything like that, because they don't really have to take a loss on one controller.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. This is by just looking at the PlayStation 5 and the Series X. This is millions upon millions of dollars that the company has to now invest to make these things in hopes that they actually move units. And they generally take a loss because they make money on the games. So there's an investment. So there's this push on them to say we need to make this work. For Google, it's just a controller, right? And if it doesn't go out to anybody, it's no big deal. It doesn't cost much.
But it's more than just a controller, though. For Google, is the whole reputation.
I mean,
Google's not going anywhere. That's what I'm saying. They can actually literally pull away from Stadia, and Google is still Google.
I mean, it's still a hit to the reputation.
It may be.
I don't think this is a matter of lack of motivation. I think
honestly,
it's just they don't know how to manage. How to manage this.
I can't believe that, because they have heads. The dude who's heading up the Stadia, he's of the game industry. He
Yeah, when
doesn't
was
know.
on the PlayStation platform. What happened? PlayStation was doing bad because it was the PS3. When he went to Microsoft, Microsoft was doing bad because it was the Xbox One. When he went to Atari before,
but none of those were him.
Atari was out. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
You know,
They're not directly
I'm
tied to
saying
him, is
that
what I'm
it's
saying,
his
yeah,
fault.
yeah.
I'm saying that maybe they don't really have that.
Just ironically, he's just bad luck.
True, yeah. And having him
We're
is,
talking
you're
about
saying
Phil
having him
Harrison.
doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't help in any way. But perhaps. But I'm just saying because it's such a low buy-in, I don't think that they have the motivation. They don't appear to have the motivation, and that's what it looks like, unfortunately. Yeah, but all right, real quick, guys. I only have one other piece.
Me too.
yeah, and that is, you guys like Batman, right?
Hell yeah.
I hate that. I hate
I
that.
was waiting. I knew he was going to be negative.
Second favorite superhero.
That's my favorite superhero.
If
actually.
you're gonna ask me about that Batmobile,
Yeah. Bruce Wayne has a new Batsuit, which we've seen, a new Bat bike, and now a new Batmobile for the director Matt Reeves' upcoming take on the Caped Crusader. Excuse me. Reeves posted our first look at the Batmobile from next year's The Batman on Twitter today, and it looks like a mean-looking machine. You don't think so, Mr. Chaos Reaper?
it's not that it doesn't look mean. It's just I don't know how I feel about it being a Batmobile.
Okay.
It's
It
like
looks too
kind of
much like a...
like the Bat
muscle?
bike. It's just first off, but it's also just those exaggerated, pointed things that they're just like slapping on anything Batman.
I don't know. It looks
I don't know.
very
This
simplistic
looks
to me.
A lot
yeah.
more down to earth than any other. But if anything, it kind of reminds me of the classic Batmobile. Well, the classic. I'm talking about like
Yeah,
the
which
Adam
classic?
West.
Oh,
Batmobile.
wow, okay.
And I'm kind of down with that.
I don't know if it
It's
looks
a
like
muscle
that
car.
one, but yeah, it does definitely.
You know,
It looks
doesn't
like a
look
muscle
edgy.
car.
It doesn't
Yeah,
have-
it looks like a
muscle
car.
car.
Yeah.
yeah, which I love it. I love it.
I don't
It has to
know.
have a little more Batman in it. Though. You know? It has to have a little bit more Batman in it. Like,
I know. I
Yeah,
know
I
what you're
mean,
expecting, but
I love muscle
Maybe I don't
cars,
want
but
that.
I don't.
Maybe I
I
want
don't
a
think I ever
down-to-earth.
pictured, Batman driving a Mustang or some shit.
I'll be down with that. I'll be super down with that.
I mean-
it looks like a car rather than a freaking tank that they give it on the Dark Knight.
I mean, but that sounds more like Batman.
Do you remember-
That was the least Batman. If anything, the Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah, I was just-
That was definitely the
most
quintessential
Batman.
Batmobile
that is the
right
quintessential
there.
which is
I
the,
agree.
Which
Yeah.
is the one? Which Batman was it that had the there was a neon? It was some blue lights. It was like all blue lights.
It was the George Clooney one, I believe.
Probably.
Oh God, it had to be because
yeah,
part of me is
'cause
like, what the?
I don't think.
How do you
yeah, I think
sneak anywhere
It's
with
also
that?
like
Yeah.
rubber
That
nipple,
was-
so
yeah.
it's
I was
okay.
not thinking, but he was so ridiculous.
Well, see,
they had bat skates
this
on their boots
Batmobile.
for ice.
I love
Fuck outta here.
I love the Dark
Bat
Knight
nipples.
trilogy, but that Batmobile was horseshit.
Which
that
one?
Batmobile it was a freaking tank. It was ugly as
Oh
hell.
no,
It
I
was-
liked it.
Which one?
She's talking about the
Bat Pod?
No, not the Bat Pod. The Tumbler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it had the bike that was the
thing-
bat pod.
Yeah, that thing was just way over engineered. To be a cool Batman. I don't know. It never gave me the vibe that it was. It seems like Batman was driving a tank.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I'm
kind of why.
pretty
I
sure
like
that
it,
was
yeah.
the idea.
This
Which
looks
I was
like-
completely behind that shit.
Yeah, with this looks like an actual vehicle.
Which, by the
And-
way, he actually does sneak by with that tank.
Yeah, I'm
He
not
ac-
saying that
he
it was
actually
not.
does that in one.
He
that it
does,
was
yeah.
not usable.
A few of them, yeah.
That Dark Knight trilogy is the best that Batman has ever been.
I agree.
True, yeah.
But
Man, it definitely doesn't have the best fighting,
I'm not gonna
though.
give it to that Batmobile. I'm also not gonna give it to freaking Ben Affleck's mobile. The one that he used on the
I don't
Justice.
really remember. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Bat Flag,
exactly.
I remember it.
I
It
remember
was an interesting take on it.
Exactly. We don't remember.
Yeah,
Those
I
are the
know.
words that I'm going to go with.
Okay.
This is-
interesting.
It wasn't
Batman.
the worst. It wasn't the worst. I've
it
seen
looked too much
George
like
Clooney's
the-
was still
the-
the hands
yeah.
down the worst.
The glowing blue one was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
probably the
what
worst.
it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't. It
I
wasn't
put
great
this one
either.
like
I'm gonna
up
say it was
there.
good.
I'm
one
still
my
a fan of
favorites.
the Michael Keaton one, the one that had the.
Yes.
you know,
Yeah,
the-
that's
oh,
what he
yeah.
said earlier. That's
Yeah.
the quintessential
Yeah, that's
That
Batmobile.
was
Like,
pretty
fuck
good.
it.
That was
That's the
pretty
one.
good. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
You know what's funny? That's also that's a Corvette.
Is
It's
it?
like a red.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's,
I didn't know
it's
that.
a Stingray, whatever year. I can't remember the year, but it's a
Stingray.
Corvette.
Nice.
And they
Tumbler
modified
was
it to look
probably
like
like
that. Once you look at the Corvette,
The Tumbler was meant to be.
it was a Lamborghini mixed with something else.
No, it wasn't even meant to be that. Remember when Lucius Fox was telling us it was meant to help them build bridges.
Oh no, yeah, but I mean the inspiration for the actual Tumbler was like Lamborghini mixed with like a tank or something.
old school
It was a
Lamborghinis?
Lamborghini mixed with a Hummer, with a Hummer.
Hummer, yeah.
That's what it was.
I would definitely say
That's
the
where
Hummer,
they got the
yeah.
inspiration from.
Okay.
With a 16-wheeler. Or Mack truck, yeah.
Sir, your last piece.
Guys, I'm not even gonna read this because I don't have to read it. It's just
Uh-oh.
3 days ago,
Going.
PlayStation 2 turned 20 years old,
Jeez.
and I just
Make
want to
me
ask
feel
you
old.
guys, what were your favorite games?
Oh,
Because
PlayStation
I'm gonna
2?
tell you right now, the PlayStation 2 Xbox era for me is the best gaming era. And let me add the GameCube there too, because it was still part of that generation, obviously.
360 though.
The one that
But-
comes to
yeah,
mind
no.
for me for the immediate one that comes to mind is the reason I bought the PlayStation 2, and that was Metal Gear Solid 2.
Sons of the
yeah.
Patriots.
Sons of I thought it was Sons of Liberty or
Sons of
something.
Liberty.
Yeah,
Sons of Liberty.
yeah.
Yeah.
The one that Raiden. You were in the
I
plane
think
as
I'm talking
Raiden.
about
yeah.
what was the one that had the Patriots name in it? Was like Guns of the Patriots? Was like
Guns
was
of
that
the
4?
Patriots. That's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah. So that's the reason I actually bought that console. So it was enough to make me buy it.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I need to get it because I need to be part of this. So that's the one that comes to mind easily.
What about you?
That's definitely a very good one, but you mentioned it. I'm gonna say Persona 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually
That
played
was-
Persona 3. I don't think I completed it, but that's the first time I dove into a Persona, and I saw all this high school shit, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
He was in high school, like, yeah, I don't need to
Yeah,
play
I don't
this.
I don't need to be in high school when I'm
I was-
off high school.
I was super a whole year, a whole school year.
You can mention more than one, by the way. It doesn't have to be just one.
That's the one that comes to mind. I can't
Yeah.
think of anything else
there's a
specifically
lot. I mean,
PlayStation
for
2.
you-
There are a
Wipeout.
lot of games in this.
Wipeout, probably there was it.
By the way, I believe it's still the best-selling console to this day.
To
the
this day,
PlayStation
yeah.
2,
158 million.
Wasn't it overtaken already by something? Wasn't it? Didn't
What?
the Switch overtook it?
Exactly.
No. Switch?
There was
No.
something that overtook
They
it.
wish.
Oh. Maybe a
The
handheld.
Wii, or maybe the Wii.
A handheld may have overtaken, like the
Wii U,
the
you
DS
said?
or something
we're
like
gonna
that.
check this because
Check it out,
Yeah.
because I mean,
It's not the Wii. The Wii was 101 million.
like I remember because I saw an article on Tech Radar, and they said that it was still the best-selling console to this day.
yeah.
I remember when I got it, it came with Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec,
Oh, yes.
and it
Gran
was like a
Turismo,
special
yes.
edition. So like the box had the headlight of it's a Porsche, but it's the roof RGT. And I dove so many. I spent so many hours in that game. But one of the first game I played for the PlayStation 2 was Devil May Cry, the original Devil May Cry. You know, with Douche Dante.
With Douche Dante. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I absolutely fell in love with that with
I
that game.
remember that. Yeah.
Definitely one of the most important games to me.
Resident
in that
Evil
generation.
4,
It
that was another good one.
Hell yeah. There were a lot of games in the generation. What is it? Star Ocean Till the End of Time.
Mm-hmm.
It's another game I spent endless hours.
Yes.
Final Fantasy X, whether you like it or not.
Final Fantasy
Final
10.
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy
12.
11,
Yep.
which was our first online Final Fantasy,
I played that on PC.
came out in the PlayStation 2, but that was PlayStation 2, Xbox 360.
Yeah, which
Because
was weird.
they actually
Yeah.
cross played,
Yep.
and then they both bitch out later on,
And pretended they didn't.
and and everybody completely forgot about it for whatever reason.
By the way, I stand corrected. The PlayStation 2 is the best-selling video game console of all time by units sold, with 159
59.
million.
I said
What's
158.
second place?
Only followed by Nintendo DS with
Right now,
154.
Wow,
DS 154.
That's really
And
close.
considering that
And I have a
Nintendo
DS.
people will buy
I had a
like
DS.
several
I never
throughout
had.
the lifetimes of it, or if you have, a bunch of kids.
The same thing was said about the PlayStation 2. I mean, a lot of people
PlayStation
remember
2
it's a
DVD. It was the
correct.
best
It was a DVD player.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That was the best DVD
Yep.
player. So,
Then you
yeah.
also, I mean, not. I know this is not obviously PlayStation, but in this generation, it was also when Halo came out. And what is it? Grand Theft Auto 3 was the first open world Grand Theft Auto that came out.
Yep.
Well, that was like 3D, and there was so many innovations that happened.
But that was
in
on
this
PlayStation
generation.
1, though.
No, Grand Theft Auto 3 was PlayStation 2.
Was it?
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto
Crap.
3.
Okay.
yeah, 3.
Okay. All right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I remember there was this billboard would go in and like snipe people. She's sniping the head. His head would disappear because we
Always
blew
the
it up.
Reaper.
It was,
Always the
Souls.
Reaper.
I wanted to see if I could survive with 5 stars.
That was cool.
It's hard to do. I'll tell
It
you that
was. It
much,
was.
yeah.
Unless you had
That
the
was
cheat
cool.
code for the tank, you just touch card and they blew up.
Yeah.
Because
Alright.
cheat codes were a thing back then, and you had to look for magazines.
I'm gonna wrap up this.
Okay.
Because we're gonna jump into the
Hot
topic
topic.
of the week that we didn't announce.
That
because
we
it's
kind of
a
like
surprise.
just came out with the spur of the moment.
Yeah, this is related to it. So Red 13
Oh God.
is not gonna be playable in Final Fantasy VII Remake, but he will join the fight as a guest character. Final Fantasy VII is massive, difficult game to remake, which is why Square Enix is spreading the original epic story out up in multiple full-size releases. Yeah, right. The first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake out next month and previewed in excruciating detail. Tells the classics game's story up to the point where the heroes live the iconic city of Midgar. The city of Midgar has been expanded in order to support the adventures of a full game. Sections of the original Final Fantasy VII might have taken 10 minutes in the original are now rich in detail and might take 4 or 5 times as long. Such is the expansion. One of the parts of the Midgar chapter that won't be making this game, however, is a party member Red 13. Red 13 will be in the game, of course, and it was previously shown in the trailer. But when Red 13 enters the story, it won't be as a playable member of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Instead, he'll fight alongside you as an AI-controlled guest character. And then the quote says, "We felt the point at which Red 13 joins the party in the story is very late. It's very late on, so we thought, okay, if we're going to have him as a full character and try to get the player to enjoy his character development arc and growth as a character through that, it's really not going to be enough time to do that." And I kind of agree. By the way, that was a quote from the co-director Naoki Himaguchi. I agree with that sense. If you're gonna have the character appear late in the game, because you don't want to change the story so much.
Correct.
To
where he comes in early.
Force him into appearing earlier, but he's gonna be late in the game and then not really get to enjoy his development story arc or have to wait until the next game. Might as well do it this way. So at first I was alarmed because it made it sound like, you're never gonna get to play as the character. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Of
you
course
will.
You're gonna be
Just not in this chapter yet.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
wait, will this? I mean, I guess. Should we talk about it now or in the?
The
No,
I
no.
mean, if you want, do we have a cue for music here?
All right, let's put the cue for music here, and we'll be right back with our hot topic.
Hot topic.
And we are now ready for our hot topic, and we're gonna throw it right to Hilberto because he was mid-sentence
Yeah,
before us going to break.
that was quite the news piece, and I figured if we're gonna give any opinions on it, might as well be for the hot
Sure,
topic.
yeah, absolutely.
Red 13 appears in the original game when you're basically about to escape the Midgard.
Shimmer.
Yeah.
Shimmer building, yeah. Mhm.
So
And
is
Midgard,
that
yeah.
this is where this first game will end, right?
So far, that seems to
That's
be
the speculation. Or is
that's
that
the-
confirmed?
Honestly, it's been said so many times. I'm not sure if it's speculation or confirmed
Well,
at this point.
I just mentioned it on the.
He does say it in the thing on the that's from
The
Square
idea
itself.
is to
Yeah.
up to the point where you leave Midgar. And of
Okay.
course, that'd be a nice place because you're
The game
not ready
changes
to
at that
show-
point,
Yeah,
yeah.
the game changes so much
Yeah.
at that point. That's probably where, hopefully, if
It
they
goes
don't
up
mess
more,
things
yeah.
up, they will have a proper overworld I'm sorry, I need my overworld.
I agree.
I know.
I agree. I need that open world.
No,
I
do
need
too.
that. I need that open world.
Do not take
If
that
there-
from me.
if
Otherwise,
there's
it's
one
not
thing-
gonna feel.
No.
It's not gonna be Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
No,
if
you-
there's
Final
one
Fantasy
thing they
VII.
were saying about a lot of this, the demo, is that it's very, very linear. And from what we played, it is extremely linear. You know what I mean? But it's also the very beginning of it.
I was
and that
just
was
gonna
also
say that.
very linear to begin with.
Yeah, when you
where are you going to
played-
explore? Yeah, exactly.
When you play the first game, that demo
Yeah.
was exactly that linear.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
It was literally one path, and any other path was literally like just one room over.
Yeah.
Here's a potion.
Yeah.
Go back to the main
Correct.
line.
Here's a
That's why it was
secret,
so
whatever.
significant to have, when you leave Midgard and suddenly the world expands,
Expanded,
opens
yeah.
up. And
Right.
you're gonna tell me that with the technology that we have nowadays, we can't replicate something similar to that we're just gonna be picking out from a hub menu? No, fuck
I mean,
that.
we
I don't want that.
don't really
Not-
know
not-
what the plan is, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right,
though,
not
yeah.
just the hub menu. Like they could either do the hub menu, or they could do just a very linear path from
Yeah.
Midgard to Calm Town, which is the first town you visit right after you leave Midgard.
God, that calm to me was always this moment, because I've played the game to completions a few times, and it was always that moment, that reveal that, okay, Sephiroth is
He's the
someone
end
to be
game, yeah.
feared. You know what I mean? Because you see the story, you take on the dragon. You hit the dragon, it does like no, nothing, whatever. He hits him, it does 9,999.
He stares at it the wrong way, and it's
Yeah,
fucking dead.
It's dead. It's like, whoa, this freaking. But
Can I keep
you've
you in my
had-
party?
You've had all this entire Midgar thing happen, and you're like, you feel you have an understanding as to what's going on, and now you get the backstory of this, and it's like it really, really changes the game.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
Mm-hmm.
After you leave Calm Town, you got to cross this marsh. This
The marsh, yeah,
with the Midgard Solum.
with the snake.
Yeah, this is the first time you actually got to grab a chocobo and whatnot. And if you try to fight it, unless you grind it like a maniac, you're not gonna get far.
Yeah.
Well,
So the first time I got there, like I just crossed the march, and then you cross, and then right there, there's this little cutscene where there's a Midgard Solum impaled on a tree. And the first time I saw, it, I was like, "Holy shit!"
and you just knew.
a lot of impaling in Final Fantasy.
So
VII,
actually, there is. Now that I think about it, you're right.
You're
to be honest with you.
I mean, that. Oh my god!
So really,
Even Cloud gets impaled in the shoulder at one point.
No, you know
Yeah,
the,
right.
the,
Yeah.
the thing about having an open world versus not having one is think about MMOs. The way that you play Final Fantasy 11 right now, let's say
14.
14. Thank you. I'm still talking 11 last, but it is very doable if you do something
Yes.
similar to that. That's an overworld.
areas
I mean,
are
it doesn't have to be
huge.
the literal, Google Maps. My character is a huge character just walking through
Right.
through the forest and the marshes and the beaches and.
So you
and
think
all
a
that.
Final Fantasy 14 style open world would
Almost
work?
like- I think
best?
that at the very ideally, I would prefer to have that almost like that Google Map that I'm preferring.
Yeah.
But I know that that's too old school, and if
I-
they
Probably not gonna go
demonstrated
for it.
something
they
on
probably
this,
won't. So it's not. It's not likely. But
Yeah, I don't
how
think so either.
awesome would it be if they did something similar and way more updated?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, how awesome would it be just to surprise you
that
with
song,
No,
that thing of
they
listening to
actually-
that song, and
Oh, we're definitely gonna get those songs.
yes,
we're definitely
you
gonna
can't
get those
lose
songs.
that on this game just because they want to make it linear. That's what I'm saying. You can have that on a MMO-ish type, of world where you're, running around, and of course you see the city, and it's not to scale because whatever. But then
Why
you
not?
can load into it if you like, or whatever. This,
I think
the
I
place is.
honestly
It's
think,
probably be too demanding. That's why.
No,
No, not
I
for
think
next-
not if they do it that way. If they do it smartly, I don't think it would be. It would look maybe a little silly with today, but if you update it to look good, I think it can be done. Because the whole deal is, I don't want them to lose. So
The essence.
we look when all right. So thinking of the demo, which I guess we should really get into.
At some point, yeah.
The it's a gorgeous freaking demo. You know what I mean? It is absolutely. I am in shocked how good this freaking demo
Oh my
looked.
god!
I could not believe. I was just
absolutely fucking beautiful.
I was like, this looks beautiful and it moves really, really well. And I'm like, I just can't believe. So
on my regular ass PlayStation.
correct,
4.
yeah. And I'm like, I was convinced. I was like, this is gonna chug. Something's gonna happen. Whatever.
Nope.
No, they obviously, and it is a demo. I get it. It's a demo, but at the same time, I don't want them to lose that. So if we're gonna have an open world, that's gonna get dropped. The scale has to be dropped. So that's why I'm like, if they can do something similar with your Google Map thing.
Hello, airplane.
The Hello Airplane. Yes, thank you for crossing by. That's the 1017 to Orlando. It's coming from LA. So
Airplane's getting quarantined.
yeah, they are. Little do they know until they land. But no, what I'm trying to say is, I want Calm to look as gorgeous. I want every town we go to. I want the Chocobo Farm to look absolutely gorgeous. I want every little bit to. And in order to do that, then you have to have that overworld that maybe doesn't look as great. But if they can do it in an awesome way where it looks like the old one but way more updated, I'd be okay. I would have no problem with that.
If you were to play Final Fantasy XIV, you'll be convinced that it can be done to that level.
Yeah, level. but then can the cities also look like that? That's the question.
The
can you
look
also
like that?
Like the way we just saw Midgar look?
No, the cities look like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I've seen it. I've actually. I haven't played it, but I've watched you and Luna and everybody play on it, and it does look. I'm not saying it doesn't look nice, but it does not look like the trailer. The demo we just played. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is
you have to sacrifice the look of the city for the overall world.
Correct. But if you don't, go ahead. Sorry.
Those areas are usually a little bit sparser, a little bit more
the
open
overworld.
Because like a city in a
Calm Town is fairly small.
Right, because they have to accommodate many players running at the same time, this and that. Over here, because they don't have to worry about all those characters, I can definitely see those cities, those places where you go. That beach town, for example, be like fully 3D realized and have that level of detail and.
I think it's Playa del Sol. Yeah.
Playa del Sol. Yeah.
You know that's actually Final Fantasy 14.
Playa del Sol?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Nice. Okay.
They have fucking near Final 14. So.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that they did so many. They have so many references like all over the place from every Final Fantasy. It's great.
Nice.
Cloud's gonna be there. I bet you.
So, starting with Mr. David Santos, I know you were, of the three of us, the one who probably had the least hope that this game would actually.
I want to say the hope, because I knew that I was the one.
The least faith.
Expectations, the lowest expectations.
The lowest expectation, if I can say, and my skepticism is from the fact that we all have been burned many times with awesome demos.
Yes, I agree, and this could very well be another time, but
it could be. Yeah.
And B, you guys play Final Fantasy 15?
No.
So I played Final Fantasy 15. I did not care at all for that fighting. That fighting was not great, know. And
you hold
my
the button
concern
down, right?
was
basically
you press X a bunch of times.
You just press one button. And my concern was looking and hearing these developers compare this to the method of fighting on Final Fantasy 15. I was like, well, they're just going to ruin it then, because that was never what Final Fantasy VII was, So yeah, I believe I had reasons to be skeptical of it, but I didn't. Obviously, I didn't want it to fail. I never said that.
Of course not.
Yeah.
So when I went into the demo, I had my expectations in check. I thought that it was going to be good. I was very looking forward, to it, but I was a little concerned about the fighting, especially when you put the game first. It tells you, oh, you can switch to classic mode. Oh, by the way, this is easy mode.
This is easy mode.
And I was like, oh, no, guys, what are you doing? Like, why would this have to be easy mode then? It's almost whatever. Let me just play the regular way.
Once you get into the fighting, you see why that would be easy mode.
Yes. So once you get into the fighting, once you realize how things could get very hectic, very quick. However, the the movement of the characters is really on point to the almost feeling like, that I'm a big fan of hack and slash games. So almost to that level
Almost
of
hack and
feel.
slash, yeah.
Like I was completely enamored by the second time I fought. I was almost saying I would not mind going over and over, what do you call that? The grind.
The grind. Yeah,
I would not mind the grind on this probably if the fighting is disengaging. Because suddenly I'm not just pressing one button and I need to heal up. Let me just pause the game so I can heal my character. Now I continue by pressing one button, Final Fantasy 15 style. No, on this one, this game was challenging actually.
Yeah,
it was.
There was several times during that last boss fight that I was close to dying, And
I never got to use Barrett's limit break.
No?
No.
Oh, I did.
I did, but it was not a fight. Like I couldn't tell the swing of it. Like this particular fighting style reminds me a lot of, for better or worse, Final Fantasy XIII's fight, where you're hitting the character, or sometimes you can use a particular
skill
or something that will stagger.
The stagger.
You're feeling a meter, and then you stagger them at some point, and now you can unleash.
You go down on that move.
Yeah.
That was lifted from Final Fantasy
13
and 13 too. And probably 13, Lightning, whatever, because I didn't really play that game. But that's fine, because I really like that. If there was anything to
It's
like
an
about Final
interesting
Fantasy
mechanic for
13.
sure.
It is.
Absolutely.
It gives you a reason to use your other skills and magic,
You want
not
to
just
find the weak point.
not just
You wanna
press
scan.
square or whatever to attack, or like go into the heavy attack mode, which by the way was fucking awesome.
Oh, the freaking Punisher mode?
Yeah, the
yeah.
punishment.
I love it,
Jeez, that's
dude.
so
At that
cool.
moment, I was like, okay, I have no problems with this
Yeah.
demo, because it
It's
already
sold,
looked
yeah.
gorgeous. We're gonna talk about the offy things a little
Yeah,
bit,
of course,
the
of
less
course.
than stellar things a little bit, but
Good, because I'm
gonna
like
let you guys-
I'm completely with like color glasses over here. I am completely in love with this thing.
there is a couple of minor,
All right.
minor
We'll
things.
save
Minor
that.
things.
We'll save. So your impressions so far are that it sold what it
it's
needed to
fucking
sell.
day one.
Okay.
I literally have two orders on Amazon, because I ordered my mistake. I
Just
ordered
in
two,
case.
and then I realized, and I was like, you know what? I'm probably gonna leave it like that, just
Wow.
Just in case. All right, Mr. Chaos Reaper. I know you are the one who was over the moon.
My friend, I could only play this demo once, and that's all I needed. I have friends who are gonna like spend hours on this. Like I couldn't even finish one of the trailers because of how excited I am for this game. I just want this game.
When you hear the
His first
words
impression is,
remake,
I just want this game.
do you think of fucking Resident Evil 3? Is that
When it says R3,
I don't care. I don't care. That could be the typo.
It was not. So.
B,
it was definitely.
who gives a shit?
Yeah.
When you're talking about a remake,
Oh, if
a
Dr.
remake
listens
is
to this.
the only remake that matters this coming April is Final Fantasy VII.
Listen,
tell me otherwise. Tell me no.
I agree wholeheartedly with
All
you.
right, you tell me no.
But I know that
am torn.
that there's people out there who
Torn?
think otherwise.
Between Final Fantasy, don't get me wrong.
So
Resident
first
Evil
off,
3 is amazing and all that.
I don't want
but
to
fucking
delve at
Final
all
Fantasy,
into Resident Evil 3 at all right now, because that's not what this is
That's
about.
not
But
the topic.
yes, both are day one. Will I get to it? I'm like, I don't remember which comes out first, but I think Resident Evil comes out like the week before. I'm like, thank God, because I would never get to Resident Evil if it wasn't for the other one.
If Final Fantasy, if it's coming before Final Fantasy,
I will be finished with Resident Evil by the time Final Fantasy comes out, which is
Sure.
fine.
So
sorry.
my impression of the demo, because one of my biggest worries was the fighting mechanics of it. I enjoyed it. And I like it that while you're doing your normal attacks, it's just like what is it? Real time.
Mm-hmm.
And once you fill up the ATB, you can pick up a skill or whatever, and then it pauses the game to let you strategically think what you're gonna do. The fact that you can go from one character to another was interesting. I kind of didn't like how the AI was acting because, like, I need you to do thunder. Why are you not doing thunder? Do I really have to go over there and do thunder for you?
Gambit system, sir.
Like,
This is not the Gambit system.
the tutorial is literally telling me to use thunder. Use thunder, Barrett. I don't want to stop swinging this sword. Why are you making me use you?
I almost wish that it has some level of Gambit, system. For those who don't know, the Gambit system is like in Final Fantasy XII. You could actually sort of program your characters by a matter of using rules in order to have your
characters do certain, like, okay. You say it's sort of programmed. No, my friend, that is literally programming the AI to act how you want it to do. Because that's, I mean, the way that you look at it, it's almost how you would type it in C sharp.
If you need it, say for example, if my health is going below 30%,
heal.
Then
use cure.
Heal me. Yeah. And that was cool on Final Fantasy XII. Some might say that was a little too automated also. Like, I'm torn.
It depends. This is obviously obviously like almost like the answer to that. It's like, hey, for me, I was able to, when I realized, he's not going to do
you have to do it yourself.
Things. Okay, so when I literally what I would do is switch over to Barrett, command lightning. Before he even casts, I switch right back to Cloud and then continue what I need to continue, and then come back and forth and back. So, first off, the way it switches back and forth is awesome. I was like, this is very fluid. This is like, okay, this is no, it doesn't feel like a chug or anything. It's just like, no, you flip right over.
You're not pausing the game and selecting another character and now going, this is not Dragon Age.
Yeah, you do have that the moment where you can pause again. It's not really a real pause, but it's like this extreme slow motion where it allows you to. And I was stringing combos. I was striking with this guy, and then hitting the button to stop it for a moment, hitting the Braver. He hits the Braver. As he's setting up for the Braver, I'm switching over to Barrett. You know, and I was like, it became this flow. I'm like, I'm in love. I'm just in love with the way this battle system is. It is
so good.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. Are you finished? Because
the last thing that I was going to add is that the nostalgia hit me hard the whole way through. Of course, they're banking on that, and I don't blame them. But I mean,
it's smart.
It is.
It's smart,
and they did it. Yeah. I mean, in the demo, they did it right. Like,
let's remember here, guys, that we're talking about Square fucking Enix.
It doesn't matter. Square Enix is doing what it needs to do.
Yeah.
You know,
so you might say when a shitty company does the right thing in one game, it almost,
it doesn't wipe their wipe their evils away.
but you're okay with
well, I mean,
and this is not Bethesda,
right? It's not Bethesda. It's not Blizzard. What's the biggest evil that Square Enix has done in the last few years?
Admittedly, it's the lesser evil.
It is the lesser.
You're right. If this game was coming out from EA, though,
I would be crying because I would not be playing. When you mentioned the nostalgia thing, I remember now just turning on the game and I'm just reading the thing and all I'm hearing is the music. You know what I mean? I was just like, I literally got misty eyed. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I cannot believe this is real. You were there, E3. Here in the house on that couch when that freaking trailer came out, and I was just like, "No, don't do this.
Don't play with my feelings.
Don't do this to me." And he was like, "No, they're not doing it. They're playing with you. They're playing with you." And
don't buy into it.
And then it happened twice.
I hear you, but then the thing came out, and then you see Cloud walking, and it says remake, and it's like, "Oh my god, that's 5 years ago, guys. 5 years ago." And we actually still don't have the game for the record.
Well, we got the demo so far.
But
we're close.
But the demo, literally, it felt like the trailer said, it felt like the promise that they made. And I'm like, oh my God, this is actually in my hand. I'm actually playing this. And not only is it exactly what I want it to be, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
Also,
what if it's exactly what you didn't expect it to be, but it's what you needed it to be?
I don't know how to answer that.
Because I mean, look at this game. Look how long. Like I've been expecting I've been wanting a remake since the PlayStation 2 era, just because of how the graphical upgrade from the 1 to PlayStation 2 was insane. I wanted a remake since then. And then once they did that
Tech demo.
like, I cried, I creamed my pants, and then it was a tech demo, and I cried a little bit harder.
You did not need to know that.
Hey, I won't admit it, but I feel you.
I even less want to know that.
And so it was a tech demo, and I accepted it quickly because I didn't want to, a lot of people held out hope and no, guys, they already told you, no, let it go, stop playing with my feelings.
Yeah.
The expectations for this were sky high.
Yeah.
They were,
and they still are.
And they still are.
We still have just a demo for that.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, the promise of the demo, it's very promising.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nobody expected this to meet expectations. Nobody. And we all thought it would be impossible. So what if they don't exactly meet the expectations, but they just go a third route of it and you know what, let's give them what they didn't know they needed.
It'll be fine. I think we can hype this game more than it already is. And maybe the fact that it is at that level, we should be a little worried. We should start
tempering our expectations
because it's not.
I can't.
One thing is to expect the game and have that wait, and another thing is once you have it in your hands and you're 20 hours in, and you're okay, this is when I'm starting to know the little things that I appreciate, and this the ones that I kind of don't. And the imperfections, and that happens with every game, no matter how.
All right, so since you noticed the imperfections, and I clearly didn't.
Oh, there are some imperfections. Yeah,
okay, so that's what I want to hear, because honestly, I played through it once, and I was like, I just want this.
I played through it twice, and I noticed it on the first one, and that is, well, first off, there's some interesting additions from what I can tell in the trailer. First off, some of the characters who are really small, insignificant characters. Yeah, you got a little bit more from them, and it's just literally from the first hour. So
it's funny because I still fell for those characters the first time I played the game, and then you never see them again. And I was like, damn, they were pretty cool. Really?
No, I mean they were cool, but I don't have any. I didn't have any attachment. Here I can see, interesting. I can probably. Maybe not Wedge, because he's just this chunky little character.
Wow.
Okay, not the fact that he's chunky.
Wow.
I mean, it's not that. I'm just saying he feels more like comic relief, and he's not very comical. So okay.
No, yeah, you're right.
So, but Barrett.
Oh, okay. I'm agree with you on
That's
that.
a major character.
Barrett.
And it's.
But let's be. I mean, honestly,
really must be disrespected.
I gotta say, I don't know. I don't know if I mean, there were some moments of dialogue where I was like, okay, I kind of like where he's going with this.
And then he would just.
But dear Lord, the moment he and what's funny is that the game was good enough to he's talking about the Mako and the Earth, and all this stuff, and I was like. Why is he talking? And I get it. That's how he was in the game, but it's also played off pretty well when you look at Cloud's character and even Jesse, where they're like, don't worry about it.
I love it when it says, "Do you really hear that?" Yes. Get help.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I like that because I'm like, clearly the game is in the know on how silly some of this stuff is because it's pulling from the original. But at the same time, Barrett, the voice, the choice that they went with here is. It's almost offensive. It's almost
not great for
offensive.
The English. Yeah, but this might have as usually these things are. They might have gotten a little silly in translation. Maybe in Japanese it's not, that level, or who knows? Because they might be completely into that. But I also felt that the exposition he gives about the
Mako
almost felt a little too out of character, even though he's all about that. But then just the way that he will talk,
Yeah.
He
I'm with you on that one,
and that's not a cool thing.
I feel you on that one, but I also feel like that's exactly how it was in the game, and I never really liked him anyways.
He was. When you think about it,
he was never in my party.
He was kind of
never.
Silly.
Oh, he was in my party for a long time.
It's just
as soon as I could swap him out, he was out.
Here's the thing. When on the original Final Fantasy VII, you gave his voice to Barrett.
Yeah.
You gave him the voice, whichever way.
And I heard him loud.
If you wanted him to sound like Mr. T, like
To
I
be
might
fair,
have,
that's
then
kind of
that's
how
cool.
I had him in my head. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of, but it's also because of the way it was written. It was like,
Yeah.
well, I guess that's kind
Yeah,
of
it was kind of like silly and over the top.
Yeah, yeah.
The one that
I feel
I'll
like they
be
just
honest,
embraced it.
the one that I'll be honest,
Yeah.
Grabbed that
Head
shit and
on,
ran
yeah.
with it.
that I'm surprised that I did not I did not have any problem with this, even though I expected to have, was Cloud, because he was especially at the beginning. Well, almost every character on Final Fantasy, at least Final Fantasy 7 and 8, it was the same thing. It was like, you know, the
Brooding
solemn
hero,
character, brooding hero,
lone
like,
wolf.
whatever. You know, every time, like I did not want to hear him say whatever a lot of times. Like hopefully they will. That was a joke on the game. So the way they made him talk here was surprisingly.
He sounded good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
He was,
sounded
he was still
And I was
kind of a
concerned
jerk,
too, yeah.
a little bit.
But I mean,
but you
considering
could tell
where he's at, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's just
it
part of
almost
his
looked like
development.
He didn't sound like he was a jerk just for the sake of being a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like there was a reason,
Right.
there was
You hired
a
me.
purpose.
I'm here for this job.
Yeah.
Don't try to get me involved in anything else.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Should have asked for more money.
Yeah.
Also, so that part I like. I love the fighting. Don't get me wrong. I thought the the particle effects were a little on the extreme. Like
I love
everything.
Really? I thought they were
Yeah,
pretty
I love
tempered.
it.
I mean, they were just
No,
like
it looks,
basic.
it looks good, but you can tell,
Basic
and style. I can tell that it's more a stylized
It is, for sure.
decision
Yeah.
than just, hey, I'm hitting a dog and somehow he is shooting sparks. you know,
I mean, you
I
think
thought it
it'd
was
be,
hitting
I always
human.
thought it was a mechanical dog, but maybe that's just me. No, I
Maybe,
really,
yeah.
I always thought it was
just
from
like
the
the
original.
human, you know.
Yeah.
really, I thought they were like biological dogs. or
Maybe,
whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
But no, I see what you're saying, though.
those
It was very
I
stylized,
mean,
yeah.
and don't get me wrong, I don't want them out. You know, I can really get used to it. Honestly,
I'm expecting
that's a
it to be
level of
flashy as
nitpick
shit.
right now because this demo was so good. You know, that there is very little to nitpick about. I thought the frame rate of it was really on point. Like it seems to be targeting 30 frames per second, and
It was
maintains
solid.
it.
Yep.
You know, it's hard to notice it getting framey. Because when it gets framey, it's because there's a lot of shit going on, and you're probably not paying attention to, how smooth it's running at that time. But it doesn't ruin anything, So far, they got that down. The areas,
Beautiful.
they make them look like livable spaces.
Yeah.
They don't
Those-
look like background.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Like even back then, you saw those areas like this place feels huge and completely unrealistic. Like, and then you
Yeah.
traverse, is like, is this really
Same
what it
thing.
should have
Yeah,
been?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this
exactly,
is
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. This.
So
This
I give
actually
him props
looks-
for that song. That was so good.
Even which I thought that I was like, oh come on at first, but then I didn't hate the minigame.
There's a
Kind
minigame?
of like the minigame with skipping, avoiding the lasers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Even that didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me either. Yeah.
Oh no! I got
That
hit
was
by the
just
lasers a bunch of times. Hey, Jesse was just making fun of me.
I got hit once and I got upset. I was fuck.
I saw like, oh,
And it
just
doesn't
4
take it.
health. I don't give a shit. Just turn
Yeah.
off. God damn it!
Damn, your clown was hate you.
He had a couple of burns in his face.
He's gonna turn that buster on your ass. Yeah. It's some of the things still look a little silly, but in a positive way in this game.
Yeah.
To see him fighting with that huge fucking
Oh,
sword.
it
Like,
was honestly,
I got that the sword was
as I
supposed to
saw-
be big because of the PlayStation
original.
character was like this
Yeah.
chibi thing, but now it just looks silly.
You think it looks silly? I think it
honestly,
looks
I was
badass
in
as
shock. How
fuck.
that was another thing, a detail that I like. The materia.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
the
see the
materia. You see the
materia
materia.
on the
On
item.
the
Like,
sword, yeah.
I love it. I was like, I love it. I can't wait to see it switch out and put a green and a red. And
I wonder how they're gonna handle it once, because I remember that you could put like a max of like 8 materia, like the last weapons.
I wonder how they're going to do it with armor. Because in armor, you were able to put
yeah,
stuff on
you
too.
could also slot
Yeah,
slot
but we didn't
material.
see
Again,
anything
you could do like 6, or I think it was an 8 or 6. I can't remember how many.
Yeah.
It depended on the armor, yeah, but I think it was a maximum.
I mean,
was
like like
8
the
and 8,
high end
yeah.
was like 8 or something
Yeah.
like that. I remember I was always.
I'm
slotting.
curious on how they, but no, the Buster Sword, the way it looked, I was like, I started getting upset. I was like, fuck, I gave away my Buster Sword. This is bullshit. I need to get it back.
No, they kept it. They kept it, and they super kept it.
And I mean, yes, for him to swing it like that, that dude has to be freaking Diesel. I'm not gonna lie, he's swinging it like it's nothing, like it's an actual katana
like
blade. You know what I
He
mean?
is,
like
he
he's
is,
a cosplayer.
Yeah.
What was it? He is. He was experimented on. So
True that.
Again, I know this is not part of the demo, but I still need to stress enough that I need that overworld, because that's where you find out like the frigging weapons. You know,
the weapons.
That level of exploration, I'm super looking forward.
Yeah, you guys looking forward to racing chocobos all over again?
I'm okay with it if it's an option, but
I'll be the
my
hell.
only concern, and I've said this before, and as we talked about the game before, it's like, I get that they're expanding the Midgar section, right? It's not going to be the actual length of what the original Midgar section was, which actually was not bad, but it was still maybe, from what, just top of my head, I think it was maybe anywhere between 5 to 10 hours. It wasn't that long, you know what I mean? So they're going to expand on that to make it, a 20, 25 hour. That's still a fraction of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, at this rate, unless they've got assets up the ass that we don't know about, this is going to take a while to get to that. Or they're going to significantly cut through the story. You know what I mean?
Do you think this is the trilogy?
I doubt it.
They're just...
They said it originally as a trilogy, and they have not mentioned it since.
I think that if this is a trilogy...
No. Yeah, they did, but like I said, it was like the initial thing.
Oh.
I don't even think they had started working on it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, because what I'm trying to get is, if this is meant to be a trilogy, then I wouldn't worry about them having the assets, because they're treating each chapter as its own individual game, which of course they will be forced to expand what it needs to, or change or edit what it needs to.
Like this,
but that's a lot of stuff they're gonna.
Well, they already said that they intended the side quest to take, to be as important and as main as the.
Yeah, but that's still just in Midgar.
No, well,
remember, in this particular game, it ends at when you leave Midgar.
Yeah, but honestly, I think this is. Think about it this way: this is just Midgar. This is the first one that the first part that they're doing, and they're still bound to the limitations of this generation consoles. Next generation consoles are not going to have this limitation, so they could expand up the ass, on it. To be fair, there are games out there already that have tons and tons and tons and tons of contents, and it's not that I mean, it is difficult. Obviously, it is extraneous, but it is possible. Mm-hmm. I don't think this is something that will necessarily. That I would worry about them meeting that promise of delivering all that content.
I just feel like it's either, if they're doing 3, then they're gonna significantly cut, because I mean Midgar again is not that big, so they're gonna jump from Midgar, maybe fill it in with a gap or something, and then go to where Nibelheim or wherever it is that the next
So Smarties
thing.
Good,
huh?
Well, Smarties good.
Oh, the Smarties are fantastic. Can you guys hear me?
Just a little bit. So that's my concern. But I mean, overall, I think they deliver. I was actually like scared at the same time. I was like, it's almost too good to be true. You know, I was just like, this is too good to be true. As I'm playing it, this is too good to be true.
By the way, for those of you who haven't cleared the game in 20 minutes, please do it in 20 minutes. You got a couple of extra scenes in the end.
Yeah, I did it in 30 minutes twice.
You're going to have the option.
And it's just more nostalgia hitting you in the face.
Something on the demo he's talking about.
Yeah, on the demo.
Yeah, there's no reason to select the longer amount, because you have more than enough time.
Unless you want to hear Barrett just mock you.
Yeah, he does mock me twice. So, because I chose.
Can't believe you
30
chose
minutes.
30 minutes twice.
I want the more time. I was like, if you're going to give me more time, I'm going to freaking take. I don't know. You don't know what the
you thought of it as the game is going to last you 10 more minutes.
Possibly. Maybe that's what it is.
I'm going to roam around this reactor.
Yeah.
This
Maybe
15 minutes I got left.
So, real quick before we wrap up, this is from the demo, so quick spoilers here if you haven't played the demo, but if you're listening to this, fuck you listening to this for. So,
quick spoiler for a 20-year-old game.
Yeah. Well,
without new people that haven't played it, there's a whole new generation that haven't even tried it. So.
But it also looks like they're actually making some changes to the story. So, what do you guys think of a particular change, meaning the actual destruction of the macro reactor? Who actually caused the destruction?
I think that they're not adding to it; they're just expanding on it. Because if you remember in the original game, once you blow it up, there's two moments where Jesse says. There's one moment where Jesse says that they weren't expect that apparently. What's the other guy's name? Jesse's the girl. What's the other guy that's always talking to her?
Biggs.
Biggs. It says that she didn't know that the bomb from Biggs was gonna blow up that huge. And once you get back to the headquarters, Biggs says the same thing. Like, I wasn't expecting this to blow up so much. And remembering that and watching this, like, so that's what happened
That's what
there.
happened, yeah.
But they don't. I mean, at least I don't remember them
No,
saying
they don't.
it.
They do not.
So it's interesting.
They just that one mention, and that's
And
pretty
that's
much
it. Like,
yeah.
it's not even enough for you to assume anything.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Honestly,
okay, and you
I
just
agree.
move on.
It was a very smart addition, actually, and one that I thought put more weight into, like, oh no, man, this fucking Shinra, they're you know that they're evil, but you don't know the extent of evil that they're willing to do.
By the way, he already said spoilers, so I'm just gonna keep rolling on with these spoilers. In that scene, that when they're watching the president and the dude Heidegger or whatever his name
Heidegger,
is,
yeah.
whatever his name is. He says that, like, oh, this is the same group that made the attempt on your life. That is a reference to somebody told me, a friend of mine told me, to the Before Crisis mobile game back in like the 2000 something.
Was that PSP game?
Oh
It
my
was a
god, I
mobile
played that
game.
to
Mobile.
completion. Yeah,
It was a mobile
Crisis
game.
Core.
No.
Was it
Crisis Core, and that was before Crisis.
Yeah,
There were
one of
two
them was a mobile game,
Oh no,
and
no,
they
small game.
there
Crisis
they show
Core was a PSP game. Yeah.
they show, I think it was the original leader of Avalanche, which was the daughter of a Turk member or something, and they tried to kill the president.
president.
And Barrett is actually the third leader of Avalanche. So that's why.
I don't
That's
care.
what.
I don't care about that. I don't care when they try to do the Star Wars thing of. If you want to know the full story, go play Fortnite. So
play
over here,
Don't play Fortnite of all games.
if you want to
Because
play,
the story there is
that-
awesome.
You know the joke with
What?
the Last Jedi. Oh, what is it called? The Last Jedi.
What this one here, the rise of
the rise of
Skywalker, or
whatever
whatever.
the fuck.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
that
movie.
one. That there was hidden story elements. They were saying the hidden story elements of the movie was hidden in the promotion that they did with Fortnite.
Are
And,
you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something. It was dumb.
So if you didn't see that, then you didn't. Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah,
No.
you don't get.
Anyways.
You don't understand why.
Trust
No,
me.
but-
Even if you did, you wouldn't
Yeah.
get it.
I mean, I don't think they're trying to like tell you go play this, year 2000 mobile
It's
game.
just an
No, no,
interesting.
no,
It's
no,
an
it
interesting
doesn't, it
connection.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Right, and it's something that
it's just
I
a
didn't
nod.
know about.
It's just a nod.
Because I didn't play that game. I didn't have a mobile that could run
Play
that
that,
game.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I
Back
did play
then, me either.
Crisis Core though.
On
where
the
they tried
PSP,
to-
yeah. I
you
didn't
could
finish
tell
it.
that they
I
were
don't think I
trying to
finished it.
milk the nostalgia for what it was worth on everything.
But a
anything
remake.
and everything.
Yeah,
Until now.
I agree.
I think they just ran out of shit of milk from like, you know what, let's just give them
Let's
a
just
little bit.
remake it now.
Let's just remake it. How about that? We'll call it Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Very original.
That's wonderful.
I kind of want them to take off the remake.
Honestly,
I kinda like that.
me too.
Yeah.
Just call it Final Fantasy VII.
yeah, just call it
Final
that.
Fantasy
Final Fantasy
VII.
VII
We all
2020.
know what it
Yeah,
is.
not even that. Just Final Fantasy. That's what it is. Final Fantasy VII. All right. I
You know
think
what I call
we're.
it? Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay. The fire.
Seven.
I'm like, why is this all
You know
smoke
what?
coming
I
from?
got
That died.
Final 7. Like Gears 5?
What do you think this is, like Fast and Furious?
I was
like
gonna say
Fast
if
8?
Fast
Final
8.
7.
Furious
Let's go. What do you think?
No.
Final 7.
Final 7.
Final.
You need that fantasy there, man.
It's a reference to the 7, members that you'll be playing it. I don't know. It's
I
7.
think there
It
was
was
more
more
than
than
7 members.
I had a party at some point of at least 11. No.
Like, I thought it was like 8. Because I remember at the
Listen.
end, I had 2
Six?
parties of 3
Six.
and then one of 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, 662. Yeah,
Our fire has run out.
it has run
So
out.
I think it's time to wrap up.
Mind you, the literal fire, not the fire in us. No, we definitely want this
fire
game.
fire
burns
Literally,
eternally,
the fire
But
pit
our
died.
soul still burns.
Yeah, but the fire pit
So
just gave
colorful.
out.
All right, guys. Well, first off, thanks so much for tuning in to an awesome episode 200. We did it, guys.
Yes, to an amazing
We did it.
episode 200.
Episode 200.
All together, finally, for the
Absolutely.
first time.
Oh, it's so
Long
good to
time
do
coming.
it. It is,
Long
and
time.
more to come.
Yes.
Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. As always, please go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there, and of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. I am rubbing my legs together like a cricket because I'm cold.
I'm doing the same thing, but because I need to go to the restroom.
As always, wait, what else? Anyway, this is Mad Dog. I'm cold and drunk, guys. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Mr. Hilberto.
I just want to see Vincent Valentine.
I can't wait to see Vincent Valentine. I can't wait to see
His
the way he
limit
looks.
breaks. Oh my god,
yeah,
I
it's
can't
gonna
wait
be
to
good.
see all.
Yeah.
And the weapons.
Right,
Give me
the
Final
weapons,
Fantasy VII.
shit, yes.
That's what I want to see for real.
And the summons.
Antifa, because, why not? Mr. David Santos, take us home.
I want to thank everybody, all three of you, that
They're currently
has stuck
listening.
with us throughout, and one of us being one of our internal over here that listen to our podcast. This is a crazy idea that we just came up one time, and we decided to, or another wanted to happen, even though I mentioned it, but I was never, I never wanted to do it until one time that we just roll with it, and now it's 200 episodes,
200
later, and
Technically 202 realistically.
Huh?
202 now, right?
Shh, nobody
Those
knows
don't
that.
happen.
We haven't gone to those yet, right?
You're speaking into the future.
All right, so then when I listen to this, should I go to 200 first and then
Yeah, you do it
200?
in canonical order.
Canonical,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, I'll do that. I'll do that.
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. No, but seriously, thank you guys for giving us the your time and opportunity.
Absolutely.
Putting our podcast while you're driving home or
Cleaning or just have it as background noise while we take care of the
This has
kids.
been awesome, and we're looking forward to
Another 200.
another 200.
Another
Shit,
200.
another 200 more of these. Damn,
Yeah, man.
I feel like I'm doing time here. One of these days.
This is for life.
Life
This
is
is our
hard.
life
sir.
sentence.
Life is hard. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you next week.
GG!